Hello. I'm back after work even. That's crazy. Way delayed. That's what happens sometimes. Sometimes you get stuck at work for a couple extra hours. I'm gonna take tomorrow morning off, so that shouldn't impact the duration of the stream. Unless everyone leaves because they have to go sleep. Which could, that could happen. But I'm pretty happy about getting the stream in at all with how late I came home. Just 8, so I'm honestly pretty energetic, ready to go. But I did wake up at about 7 a.m. So it's been a little over 13 hours since then. So maybe I'll crash in the middle of the stream, we'll see. Anyway, let's do some game doll before people drop in. And then move over to the last sovereign like always. Which Assassin's Creed is this? This has to be Valhalla, right? If it's an Assassin's Creed, but I guess it isn't. Is this an Assassin's Creed? I mean, it has the rugged shoulders. It could be Liberation. Wait, it's wrong saga. I'm stupid. Is this the like No Man's Seas or whatever? Sea of Thieves. I'm not locked in enough. Pirate. Could be Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. It's blue. It could be Sid Meier's Pirates. This feels like a Sid Meier Pirates. Fuck. It's definitely not Like a Dragon Yakuza. Is this like Greedfall? Might be Greedfall. Eclipse? What? Well, it has to be Frozen Synapse out of these, right? That makes no sense, though. Motorstorm Apocalypse makes 0 sense. That's gotta be a hard cover to get. Very likely. Can't be Mutant. It has to be Frozen Synapse. Wait, was that not a... Was that an O and not a P? Why the fuck did I think that was a P? What? Can I go back to what it looked like? I just want to know what this looked like. Clip it? I guess so. Oh wow. My hotkey for clipping puts it in reader mode. Funny. Oh no, all my porn. You're gonna see all my porn. No! What will you think of me? Enough. Pirate. Oh my god. I didn't realize that was part of the distortion. I legitimately didn't realize that was part of the distortion. I thought it was just a stylized P. It's so obviously part of the distortion. That's actually hilarious. I'm so unfathomably unskilled. I got owned. Nothing else you can say, I got owned. This is Persona 4. Wait, is it 4? It's a Persona game for sure. I think it's the Persona. I think it's golden. Oh my god, it's not golden. Is it Ultimax or something? I mean, that's Chie and, what's his name? I was gonna say John. His name is not John. Kanji. It's Kanji. Could be Arena Ultimax, but it's just regular Persona 4. Oh, it wasn't even Kanji. It was, the homophobic guy. I was gonna say Ryunosuke, but that's also not true. What the fuck? Shinosuke? I forget what his name is. He's the homophobic one, so I didn't really care for him. He's like low-key kind of goated in the first half, and then they just dial up the homophobia giga hard in the second half. Kind of just kill the vibe, you know? Like, why you gotta be like that? Oh, dude. Oh, no. This was so much better when I just saw this. And I was like, oh, we got like an eldritch being. This is like a leg of an eldritch being. It's so sick. You scroll up and it just gets better. And then there's a human leg and you're like, nah, fuck. You couldn't give us like a red, like, demon, like, all the way through with this kind of aesthetic. It had to be armor on top of a regular human leg. That's like fucked up. I have no idea who this is. It kind of reminded me of the Rogue set from WoW, but it's the wrong art style to say the least. Is it like, I mean, the Ninja Gaiden or some shit? What's his name in Soul Calibur? It's not Soul. It is Valera! Oh my god. I was like, this is the wrong art style. And I said, this looks like the Rogue set. And it's Valera who's... it's not quite the same set, but she's based on... You know what? She'd be hotter if she had no human parts and the set was just like skin. I'm a freak. I'm not afraid to say it. It's a baller outfit though. Didn't know she had legs. Yeah, you know, me neither. But I really like the... God, do you think... Never mind. Do you think this is like what Chinese medieval peasants women had to wear? It's actually not it's neither peasant nor medieval. It's like a noble thing, I think. And it's also fairly recent. They might still do it in some parts where they like... It's similar to what ballerinas do, but more extreme. Where they like wear tighter and tighter shoes until like all your toes bundle up. And it like completely destroys your balance and fucks with your ability to walk for the rest of your life. But it does give you smaller feet. Because like... This can't be healthy. Look at this shit. Thank you, Marcus. Sorry it started so late. I didn't think I'd do overtime for so long. At least you'll have a VOD to watch later. Actually, let me just... We gotta get into like at least an well, speak hard, equally long discussion about politics as what me and my mentor / co-worker went through, so that there's no VOD to watch for Marcus tomorrow. There's just politics. Peasants did it too, fairly regularly. Man, the pressure of fitting in, you know, that sucks. Foot binding is okay if you do it like Rock Lee, where it's just for aesthetics and it doesn't actually bind them together. It's wearing bandages because it looks cool. I mean, technically he did it because it hurt him, or like he was hurt like 85% of the show, but it was done for aesthetics more than that thing, for that reason. The idea of not having a VOD tomorrow. Not sure if it's worth waking up. The way you wrote that, I'm like, the idea of not having a VOD tomorrow. It fills you with determination. Can't believe you got rage baited by that. I didn't get rage baited by that video at all. I thought he was wrong in pretty much every conclusion he drew, but it caused me to think about it, and I haven't thought about... Like, I thought I think he's correctly identified a dichotomy, or a couple dichotomies. Like, the fact that there is no hard multiplayer game, I sincerely believe. The more you scale mechanics and depth and everything, that doesn't mean that the average player is going to understand that and execute on it. Like, no matter how hard a fighting game is and how esoteric a game is, the average skill level is never going to be, like, markedly more insane. The only thing that really changes that is... if anything, the less skills that you test, i.e. something like chess, the harder the game is, because the more extreme your skill in that one skill has to be. The more esoteric a game is and the more skills it expects to test from you, the easier the game gets, because there's more ways for you to surpass the average. So I think he noticed, like, a decent underlying thesis that there is no hard multiplayer game, but, like, almost everything that he said in the video I thought was wrong. Tic-Tac-Toe is not the hardest multiplayer game? Correct. Well, I mean PvP games. Munch, he means PvP games as well in the video. The title says multiplayer games, but what he means is, he means oppositional games, i.e. PvP. And oppositional games are going to be as difficult as your opponents are good. I will say, you're not the first to point out the tic-tac-toe thing. He plays semantics for a while at the beginning to make a definition of hard that works for him, but doesn't align with what people mean when they use the word. And then uses that to take for granted that games that are strategically deep, meaning that they disproportionately test strategy, are better than other types of games. Which is dumb, because tic-tac-toe would be 100% strategically deep in his definition, whereas StarCraft would only be like 50%. Impossible to really pinpoint what percentage StarCraft would be, but it definitely wouldn't be 100. I almost added that as a aside. But yeah, no, I didn't get rage baited. I listened to it on the way back from work, and I essentially just said, nah, I disagree, and I wrote this right when I got home. Yeah, no. What really annoyed me was this comment. He just kind of assumes that if you have the opposite opinion, you must be uninformed and wrong. T90 might be wrong about auto farming, but he's a great guy keeping the Age of Empires scene alive like nobody else. But that said, I will say, I don't think you have to qualify, in my opinion, online. I think the lack of reading comprehension has done terrible damage to our system, and it's okay to just state something like this, and, you know, your opinion is assumed. So I'm not gonna hold it against him. It's just that the way he talks about it in the video makes it seem like an objective statement and not his own opinion. The speed chess or bullet chess versus regular chess was very funny. That you'd enjoyed the video, Marcus, because you've got enough competitive game background to engage with the topic at hand. I think you genuinely enjoy the video, even if it is poorly. Like, this is a video that is very rare online, in my opinion. It is a bad argument, like, defended well. And that doesn't mean that the arguments used to defend it are coherent and well constructed, but his presentation and the way he sells it is competent. So this is the type of video that can be wrong in almost every single way, but there are still going to be people that agree with it simply because they've been sold the concept of it without really, like, having engaged with any counter argument. So they'll just believe it's true, even if it's, you know, silly. Like, this Woohoojin guy is apparently a, like, Valorant coach, competitive esport player, whatever, and has, like, 300k views. I agree with everything you said in this video. And then he completely goes on to not agree with anything he said in the video. I think he makes similar arguments to me, so I don't see why you start with I agree with everything you've said in the video when you clearly do not agree with what's said in the video. I read this comment, which was why I decided to very specifically not say at any point that I agree with what you're saying, unless I specify a specific small part that I agree with. Which was why I was like, I would argue that your fundamental argument that less actions per decision leads to more strategic complexity is at best only partly true, and that the inverse, more actions per decision leading to less strategic complexity, does not hold up categorically. That said, I enjoyed the video and appreciated having to think about it. Good stuff. At no point do I say I agree with him, because I think every single argument he made is stupid. An intelligent premise, well defended, and with interesting visuals. Great video. Crazy. Crazy. I feel like every comment here that just blanket says I agree with this. This is a one of those extremist takes that you'll get made fun of if you say in a different context. But I feel like every comment here that blindly just has great video has not played a strategically complex game in a competitive fashion, and that a lot of these counterclaims are from people that have played competitive games and have strong opinions about them. This definitely feels like a feast. This is the type of thing. This is bad research. This video is an example of bad research where you worked backwards from the thesis statement. You found, I won't even say you found arguments to support your point. You invented arguments to support your point. They're not really backed by facts in any reasonable way. It's all just vibes based, but you had a thesis that you thought sounded cool and made for a good video title, which is, you know, how you play the content game. And then you said, let me work backwards from here and construct the arguments for it. And when you did that, I think you constructed a incoherent argument, but you definitely put the effort in way more than a regular video. So I can't help but respect it somewhat. It's well constructed at the very least. That said, the worst part about this video by far, and what really disqualifies it from being like in any way worth engaging with, is the fact that he has a Swedish accent.
Effectively lowering your strategic skill. A high action to decision ratio leads to less possible.
It's fucked up that he has a Swedish accent. I don't want to associate with this guy. It really grinds my gears. That's the true worst part of that video. At no point did they say that the guy was right about anything. He did, didn't he? I agree with everything in this video. What? What are you talking about, Munch? Oh, the intelligent promise. Oh, you mean this? Yeah, that's fair. Oh yeah, fair enough. That makes sense. Sorry, I made an assumption and it made an ass out of me. It did not make an ass out of you, but it made an ass out of me. Fun fact that nobody wants to hear: there's never been a top 100 chess player with a major physical disability. That's actually a really fascinating factoid, because I'd assume that you'd get outliers. Like, if anything, I feel like someone that is physically disabled would disproportionately want to excel in a purely mental sport like that, right? Like a purely strategic endeavor where your disability doesn't matter. Which makes it very interesting that there hasn't been a top 100 or like a grandmaster chess player. That's actually an extremely fascinating factoid. I'll have to think about that a little bit more. I'm really curious why that is. Chess has been around for long enough. I feel like there has to have been some research on that. Disabled chess player research. Garbage SEO, but what do we got here? Well, that's also not true. I just realized that you're lying to me, Munch. I I can't believe you do this, because there is a disabled top 100, at least in Spirit chess player. And it's Tyler 1. He hit Grandmaster in like a couple months from never playing chess before. And he's short. So I really feel like you need to construct your arguments better than that. Anyway, I'll keep that search term up for the future. And look at that off stream, see if I can find some research on disabled chess players. That'd be interesting. I feel like there has to have been some research done on it. That guy sounds to me like a gold player who thinks that if melee is auto L cancel, he'd be top 100. Yeah. You should read my... Oh, well, you did read my comment on it. I shouldn't even say you should read my comment. You did read my comment on it. It definitely does seem like that, but... I brought up L canceling as a good counterpoint because I think it's the closest thing that could like support this argument in melee, and even there I find it highly debatable. And then I brought up a mechanic that I think significantly worsens the action to decision ratio. Like, without reaction tech chasing, you have to make multiple decisions every hit and every knockdown. Whereas with reaction tech chasing, I essentially go on autopilot and stop making any strategic decisions as soon as I engage the flowchart. Which would lead to a less strategic game when I think it has by easily the opposite effect. I don't know, I think the worst part is that he thinks that the majority skill tested in a 1000-meter dash is endurance. That was extremely funny. I love that he didn't even bring up a marathon, he just brought up 1000 meters. That really no-sold this argument so hard. I was like, I know you're constructing a hypothetical here, but like you couldn't have picked like a longer distance. You couldn't have picked, like you couldn't have done like, you know, a marathon. Good thing you took a stand against his tyranny in the comments then, thank you. He was talking about the intelligent premise comment, I think. Maybe I should change my job title to Munch Speaker. Dude, you have an ability that I lack, and I'm broadly pretty jealous of it. It's pretty crazy. I blame the fact that I've been at work for like 12 hours, but you know, it is what it is. Let's see, is there anyone we missed here? Bali has request. Yeah, we haven't gone to Takan. I love that this NPC just throws you everywhere. Varia is literally in my line of sight with a request for you. That's wonderful. Please talk with Yara. I've talked to Yara, but I'm probably in the wrong place. I haven't talked to Realisy. We're gonna do your thing at the pool. But I kinda wanna check out the other ones as well. Let me see. Have I talked to Realisy at all in the base? No, it's somewhere else that we have to talk with her. I wonder if Ganasta is... Nothing new here, no new sparkle. Makes sense, makes sense. I think I've checked all that anyway not too long ago. Let's head to Takan and check out what Balia and the goat orc wants from me. What the fuck? Combat training there? Crazy. Okay, why the fuck are... Well, I wanna fix your cohesion. So what are you looking at? Wendy's, what are you doing out here? Just thinking about our old house. It's long gone, of course. Yes, I suppose the village was about here. Feels like an eternity ago in so many ways. This time, I feel the same way. Perhaps not for the same reasons, but... I endured an extended nightmare, but you needed to struggle through years of life, which is a nightmare of its own. Wendy's, I thought you were feeling better, especially with your new body. I'm fine, Simon, just a little sad sometimes. I've noticed you doing favors for the other girls. You've already done so much for me. I won't ask you to run across the world. I'm sensing a but. I'm sensing something that leads to me running across the world. It's just you technically didn't ask for it. But you do want something. Can we rebuild a little the way things used to be? I know resources are stretched thin, and it's not the highest priority, but please. I don't want to see you ask so plaintively. You wouldn't regret it, I guarantee you. I'm gonna just hit her with the yes. Wonderful. This means a great deal to me, Simon. Corruption, baby. I'll oversee the resource gathering and organization. I'll handle the magic side, but to get things right, I really need to talk to Wynn back in Serantia. Gotta go, good luck with stream. See you around, Marcus. Sleep well. I'm planning on going for until I get too tired. We find a good stopping point. Tomorrow I have a physiotherapy session for my wrist. And I'm planning on working from home from when I wake up until that. And then I probably won't go into the office afterwards because I worked too much today. I've also been asked if I wanted to participate in a 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. install of something at on Wednesday night, Thursday morning. So I might do that instead and then skip work on Friday. And just, what's it called? Just do that. We'll see. I'll handle the right magic side, but to get things right, I really need to talk to Wynn back in Serantia. We can stop by. Remember, I need to talk to Wynn, ideally back in her home. So fucking pushy, man. Why you gotta be like that? What is this black spot? Are we prepared to enter the Incubus Emperor's domain? No. I would argue not. I know I couldn't have done anything for Ardford if I'd been there, but still. Thankfully, the riots did not extend far enough to damage our food production. What the heck? I like the tree too! I wasn't prepared for that being a joke of any kind. Pretty please, kill no more monsters? I wasn't planning to, but I feel like something would have happened here if you still had the Impaler. Unfortunately, we live in hell, and there is no Impaler. We're the singular judge and jury. And I suppose the executioner. He was supposed to be our executioner, but now he's gone. Tragic. Where the fuck is... Oh yeah, she was here at the spire, wasn't she? Once we kept orcs in cages like these. How barbaric. Simon's the only Impaler you need. Crazy. Are you horny? That feels like a horny statement. Well, I read the judge. I don't judge, by the way. I'm just saying. Well, I guess technically I did just say I'm the judge and jury, but like I don't judge you. Why are we the judge and jury without the Impaler? Shouldn't we be taking up the job of executioner? You can't centralize power like that. Like then you get... There's no checks and balances. Wow. I can't believe the spam bot has changed from best viewers to AI, not even view bots. It's just AI viewers. My relentless libido is the reason I sympathize with Simon as an MC. And Yara. I thought about this before. I think I have a fairly high sexual drive, or sex drive, but it must be fucking miserable being hypersexual. Or I guess... I think hypersexual is the medical term, but nymphomaniac is the like common tongue version of it. Like everything I've read about that experience must be so fucking miserable. But on the flip side, if you were just Simon, is it bad because of the constraints and the need that's placed on you, or is it bad because those needs can't be met? Like, where is the problem really? It seems miserable, but could it be good? Why no more booze festival? I'm sorry, man. We're trying. The Bloody Spire is for imps too! Yeah, you're a minority. Fuck you. No more elf. Very sad. Where do you go to get treated for that? It's unfortunately really hard to treat. Like, you can't really... Like, I've heard about people being prescribed medication that has the side effect of killing your sex drive. Like antidepressants that kill your sex drive in order to bring that down. Stuff like that. But I don't think it like works permanently. Let's see. Hypersexuality. Is there as a disorder? One is excessive sexual drive. Saturasis. Never heard the male term for it, but nymphomania for females. Individuals with hypersexuality are at higher risk for various negative consequences, such as contracting STIs, committing sexual abuse, damaging relationships, and developing other addictions. 27.5% of affected individuals contact an STI, engaged in excessive unprotected sex. Yeah. Wow, 89% admitted to engaging in sexual activities outside of their primary relationship. Like, it has to be so hard to maintain boundaries and, like, work around this. You need to be so good at communicating. It's also apparently pretty common to be sex addicted as a consequence of it. Like, this seems really, really rough. Yeah, 89% blew my mind. That is a incredibly high number, especially with the shame that has to be associated with it, right? Hypersexual disorder linked to overactive stress systems. I wonder if... I don't think ADHD is linked to the stress system directly, but I wonder if it might be somewhat linked, because when I'm medicated, I have a higher libido than I do unmedicated, which is fascinating. No more elf, very sad. What? There's a one button to the quest tab and I've never used this? That's crazy. No more festival. War too important. Are you jerking off? Was this here for drink? Then suddenly, fight. I suppose the chaos was rather extreme. But then suddenly go away. Many say thank Dargai. We did have a little to do with that. Now, only drink. Can you stop blinking like that? This is not standard behavior of someone drinking. You are jacking the fuck off. Drink until not think. Okay, never mind. Okay. Orc. I have a proposal for you. Look north. There's a noose right there. If you go there, all your problems will be solved. We can salvage you for parts and make a better orc. Like, it's right here. like if you... Might I recommend the noose with the fucking evil crow on the top of it? Oh my god, I might be a horrible person. Chaotic as this seems, the orcs here will still respect the fallen. Pet the bird in the tree. I'll pet the bird in the tree after it's overseen that the act gets done. I can't, unfortunately, pet the bird. Everyone's all for the glory of Takan. But fuck it, I'm raising prices. Gotta make a profit somehow. I helped you with a quest. I am going to ruthlessly outcompete you if you continue. Yeah, right, like, it has to... The best part is they seem to keep their memory when you do that as well. So it's like... It seems really weird how that would affect your society. Which I guess is part of why they're so fucking weird. Spire very chaotic, but magic too big to control. bigger mage fix. Yeah, just combine with 2 other mages. Some orcs forget tradition during war. Very sad. Less money now, but in still profit. Me, not dumb. How the fuck? You know what? It's like those images of what the most efficient way you can like fit X number of squares in like a certain amount of space. Like some numbers will divide evenly and it'll look like they're perfectly stacked, and then some other ones will be sideways and look really fucked up, just like these tents. The glorious pink one, my brightest star, my sun, my moon. All good things are stored in her. Silica or cum? Simon, I have a thought. Inconceivable. A rather more concrete thought than usual. Orcs have long believed the site had some importance. As near as I can tell, there are no easily accessible powers here. Their belief and regular worship, however, must have impacted the tower. I presume that there is great potential beneath this part of reality. That matches my understanding of how it works. The magic in this area may be attuned to orc kind. More efficient square packing isn't bad until like 37. It gets a bit weird at like 17 though. As soon as it gets weird, it's too weird for me. Just stack it up vertically, I don't give a fuck. It's fine. Make it visually appealing before efficiency. I can't stand how weird it looks. That matches my understanding of how it works. The magic in this area may be attuned to orc kind. It goes further than that. Many orcs claim that you can come here to find your truest self, like a vision quest of sorts. Too far for you? Is this too far for you, fuckboy? Yeah, this is too far for me. Rather, it's too close to the Swedish flag to be truly enjoyable. Just send the one outlier box in a separate package. Just take the L, man. Many orcs claimed, yeah, as opposed to transformation in the orc pools. Prior to it, as our average level of cognition rises, many find themselves with more abstract goals. Robek has been investigating this matter, but struggles with the extremely powerful magic involved, not to mention tower entities. And wants us to handle things? No. In this case, he has made no requests. I am coming to you with an idea assembled from several current developments. I would like to pursue this path, to enter the tower and see if there is anything to this talk of true identities. If you walk out as like Socrates or something, we can certainly support you in that. It would not be a simple affair. I believe that, in order to obey the beliefs shaping the tower, only orcs should enter. So Tilted Impaler died. Instead, I would like you and the others to go ahead and help shape the path for us to walk. Do you really exist, or are you a collection of what other people think you are? Well, people exist if they think, right? That's what Descartes said, so... It's really been put to rest. There's really... Like, if you don't look at any other philosopher and any other school of thought, the matter's really just been settled, hasn't it? Like, I really think we've argued about it to the furthest extreme, and we don't have to visit further back or really look at any other part of history and any other school of thought. Like, really just that one thought, I think, is enough to really square philosophy away as, like, solved forever. So we'd need both personal preparations as well as a crew of strong orcs. Yes, all to face unknown threats. However, I believe that this could benefit us. We are leaving the era when military might alone can win wars. It's time for proxy wars and cold wars and storage wars and flame wars and other kinds of wars. Exploring this tower magic could well extend the viable period in which orc warriors, including me, can play a major role. I'd be glad to help you even if there weren't those benefits. Thank you, Simon. Speak to me if you are prepared to pursue this. Nice, that became a new request. Cool. Where is Balia? No way she's in the mine. That seems like such a counter. She has to be in Taran Khan, right? Also, Descartes fought, for sure, because I'm Descartes. Surprise. It was me all along. I've been reincarnated. My philosophy now is an amalgamation of the Buddhist, like, religious school of thought and doctrine, and the philosophy of Descartes. I don't know how to square those two, but I've done it. Orkint, do you have suggestions for spreading martial arts to orcs in Taran Khan? Don't. I beg your pardon? Taran Khan is obsessed with orc values and traditions, so most will be reluctant to adopt foreign traditions. If you begin with the more adventurous orcs in Sekan, however, others will begin copying them. Very astute, thank you. Crazy just said no. Do not. Now all orcs come look at Orc Hall. Very big, much talk. Where the fuck is Balia? Now you're simply being obstinate. We have offered the masses nearly all freedoms, and they have produced mostly chaos. You see, you have it backwards. The instability we see today is a reaction to attempts to restrict the basic rights of orcs. This was essentially close enough to the like 4-hour political argument I had at work today. Tarkan is for orcs. Throw out all the foreigners who aren't serving us. Including me? Are you gonna throw me out? Do you wanna try? I'm sure it'll go well. Though I believe many of these arguments are unproductive. At least Orkind is committed to the argument instead of violence. You want me to tell you where she might be? I know she's somewhere here, so I'm gonna go to the other cities first. I have to go here anyway to check everything out, so it's fine for now, but because I wouldn't see discussions like this otherwise. But we're gonna find her soon, because the Fuani pointed to Taran Khan, or Takan, somewhere here. Hello, Dark Guy. Helping Rodak orcs? More helping than the entire nation, but yes, that includes the orcs. Why do you ask? Me think Rodak orcs need extra help now, not have many good things from other orcs around world. Could sell at fair price, but make profit, sell much. It's true he'd have an edge in the market, and we could make sure he isn't price gauging. Problem. Rodak very far away. Spells too expensive, ships too dangerous, can't get things there. If you have a reasonable sales plan, we might be willing to offer support. We'll explain. This plan's not bad. It won't turn much of a profit for us, but it'll be good for the Rodakan economy. We'll consider it. Much thanks. Much thank. I mean, I feel like this feels like one of those investments that's just like really, really good to do. I'm gonna go with my gut now. I feel like I should spend my money where my gut says I should spend it, and then stop thinking about it. It keeps things moving, and this one feels like a no-brainer too. The problem becomes when I run out of money and I still have no-brainers left to do. Much thank. Begin organized transport right away. Local goods in Rodak now. You seen? You seen? Wait, already? Wait a second. Already? Frame 1? She's gonna be in the breeding pool here. Yay, there she is. I mean, that makes perfect sense. Simon, I've been thinking about a new project. What is it? I'd like to develop a new type of castle wall that will stand up better to magical bombardment. Can I spoil Attack on Titan? There's really no way to make the joke I want to make without spoiling Attack on Titan. Oh my god. I'll grab some water really quick. BRB 1 second. I simply won't make the joke. I don't want to spoil it. It's a good enough show. The offer... There are 0 succubi in Attack on Titan, so it's irrelevant. But some would argue that there are orcs in Attack on Titan. Those people would be racists, but, you know, still. I was sort of mixed on the way Attack on Titan like went in the later half, but the author recently had an interview that I found spoke to a level of insight and ability to criticize yourself once you're distanced from the work that really made me like ease up a bit on Attack on Titan as a show. He claimed that he kind of failed in what he wanted to depict because he couldn't manage to commit to the vision fully, and he called himself a coward for that, which I thought was like, yeah, that's kind of like my main issue with it. So, you know, it's cool that you as an author also regret that and you could identify it in your own work. Like, it's a lot harder to make that critique yourself to your own work than it is to a different work from someone else. So I really respect that. I gained a lot of respect for the author when I read that interview. I'd like to develop a new type of castle wall that will stand up better to magical bombardment. No, I want to make better orcs. I don't care about orcs anymore. Castle walls are my new passion. That was a joke. Aka helped me think of it. But I'm guessing you do have a new project in mind. The ever respectful Simon making a cordial when really the joke wasn't funny. Yes, I've been thinking about how to make orcs more useful to our recent battles. I wasn't fully paying attention, but I saw that our opponents are capable of creating many dangerous soldiers. Incubus Kings, Divine Spirits, and so on. So I decided to make a God Orc that does everything better than the Incubus Kings and Divine Spirits. So I made Gork, and Gork is gonna win and beat everyone. Oh, he also wants you to call him Grok now. Don't ask me why. Ordinary orcs won't be able to compete. I believe our primary project in Takan is functioning well enough. However, if we were to focus resources in a new direction for a small number of orcs, you believe we could create troops capable of fighting those? I think it would be worth a try. It would be such fun to stretch the upper limits of what orcs can become. Olia is far from being a fan favorite hair member, but I actually find her very endearing / hot. I'm torn on Balia because she's one half of, or she's pretty close to the standard media depiction of an autistic character, but she's not the most egregious type, which is the autistic savant, except she sort of is in her micro sphere. It's not done in an egregious way, but it still feels like she's far too one-dimensional and her gimmick is played up in a way that I find less endearing, having autism myself. There are people like this, for sure. I don't think there's anything wrong with how she's depicted. It's just, I feel like there are ways to make a character like Balia way more interesting than Balia is, if that makes sense. The way you are playing with the ideas feels very basic to me. That said, she still has a lot more depth as a character than most of this archetype, so I'm willing to forgive a lot because of that. And I mean, she does appeal to me in a general, like, dry humor, autistic way. There was a study recently that people with I forget if it was autism specifically or neurodivergent people in general, but that you tend to, like, befriend other people with the same form of neurodivergence that you do, same condition, much easier. And I definitely feel that kinship a little bit with Balia, but I also think that she could have been a way more interesting character. So I'm torn on Balia. She has a lot of potential, but the game is running out of time to realize and have an interesting character arc for this character. Right now, she feels like a token addition rather than a fully fleshed out character with her own goals and motivations, because they played her way too far into the I am only interested in one thing at the cost of everything else, to the point that she can't really have her own motivations and her own drive. She has zero autonomy within the story whatsoever. For an example of a similar character that I think is done a lot better, this time because Kirby isn't here, I guess I'll be the one to talk about A Practical Guide to Evil. But one of the things I respect the most there is that they made the mage character of the main cast. They made him a very, very competent, very autistic character that has a lot of autonomy in what happens within the story and isn't beholden to what the rest of the party says in order to have his own, motivations and his own character arc, which I think is exceptionally rare for this specific archetype. Like, he's very close to Balia in terms of how autistic he's depicted as, but he was still able to have a very impactful story arc, which is one of the bigger things I can give A Practical Guide to Evil. I think they executed on that very, very well. I'm trying to see if I remember his name, because I think I do. Guide to Evil. I had one letter off. Can I be... Like, this is fucked up. I had one letter off. Masego. I had Masago. Power is a consequence, a happenstance enforced by laws that were artificially set in place. Knowledge is the heart of this, and should a man know as much as a god, would there even be a difference? Cool character, cool character. Honestly, just shocked to hear there's male characters in A Practical Guide to Evil, when my impression about it from cultural zeitgeist was that the entire cast was evil lesbians. There's actually about an even split male and female characters, which is really funny with what you just said. I think the reason you run into that phenomenon is the fact that 3 or 4 of the most impactful characters that have the most interesting relationships with each other are all women. And the main character is explicitly either bisexual or lesbian. Though I think bisexual... No, she's lesbian. So, that plays into it. She was bi? Yeah, didn't she at the start get together with a guy? I forget, because I don't think she does for the rest of it. I think she mostly is together with women, but I think she definitely has a male romantic relationship at the start of the like the first or second book as well. In book 1 she's bi. Yeah, makes sense. I thought I remembered that, but all the notable relationships I could think of were female. But on the flip side, that series has a bunch of really good male character. Masego is a fantastic autistic character, and the Black Knight Amadeus is such a cool mentor character. I also think the Pilgrim is arguably the most interesting villain in the story, and his closest analog character in fiction that you could relate him to is Gandalf. So it's sort of like, what if Gandalf was on the wrong side of the conflict? Which is a very, very interesting character to have. So the Grey Pilgrim is also gonna get a like +1 from me. There's a ton of cool characters there, but yeah, it's also a bunch of lesbians for sure. And you can use them to fight in the battle for reality, I guess. Anything that might help even the odds is worth trying. How do we proceed? It shouldn't be too difficult. I'll need help from everyone to do tower magic. Anything more specific? The tower is the architecture of reality, right? It must underpin everything, including the essence of orcs. Oh no. What if the tower is an orc? I figured that Takan would be the best place to tap into that, but I can't do the magic myself. I'm sure that our mages will be able to help. What else do you need? That's about all. Once I have access to the right sort of raw tower magic, I just need to experiment a lot. Oh, and I also need your help with various things. I'll let you know once we're ready. We don't have to do it all at once. You can come and go if you want. Well, Munch, don't worry. I can't have sex yet. Or rather, it won't be fun to have sex. So, actually, I don't know if Balia cares about that at all. Okay, so now I think we picked up almost every quest. I'm going to do the Uya thing and go to Sekhan first. Where do we teach you? What the fuck are you doing here? And this game is so fucking big. Every now and then I just run in and I'm like, what the fuck is this character? I forgot you existed, ma'am. Oh yeah, it's the side quest for the priestesses. Sekhan is one of the calmer parts of the nation, and I find the orcs here more receptive. Protect High Priestess Hirin. Let's say good words. Would you have time to discuss some theological implications, Sister Hirin? Oh, Sister Sarai, of course. I'm sorry, I discussed stuff at work for too long, so my voice is like half dead. I have like one female voice and one male voice right now. It's fucked up. Oh dear. Not that I normally have more than like 2 of each, but you know. Oh dear, I'm not sure I have much to offer here. Is this some new doctrine I should spread? Erin? Do I need to remind you that you're a high priestess now? Oh, I guess I wasn't acting very much like one. Man, you have cat eyes. It's actually kind of fascinating. Truth be told, this is the part of the game where you get reminded that Simon's harem is following him around like a herd of cat at all times. They've already explained this in universe that that's not really the case, but for the discussions where they are relevant, it's like implied that they are following them there to have that discussion a lot of the time, or they're in the area. Like not all harem members are there at all times, so I've decided to suspend my disbelief for the most part. Though Kirby pointed this out as well with Miguel. It's like, why the fuck is Miguel here? But I'm willing to give the game, like, it can do that, and I won't mind at all. It doesn't even have to explain it, even though it already has, to a degree. Because this is just how RPGs do it. And you'd be a bad RPG if you didn't do it. It's a gameplay contrivance that I really like, and it makes it feel very cozy, like we're all in a clown cart going around. And the only difference between this and like a Chrono Trigger is that the clown card is filled with hot, sexy women that I want to fuck, which is like preferable. So really, there's like, you're only really winning here. Truth be told, I don't feel like I can equal all of you experienced high priestesses. I'd rather focus on ministering to those I can. It's just funnier to imagine Yara and Kum walking through a door and getting their asses stuck in the door. You don't want to fuck the hot, sexy women of Chrono Trigger. Yeah, but there's like 2 of them. 3 of them, maybe. Whereas there's a lot more here. It's not really a clown card. It's more like a semi truck in Chrono Trigger. You got like 6 seats and you've already covered it all almost. You know what? The robot is the clown card in Chrono Trigger. Goated character. Truth be told, I don't feel like I can equal all of you experienced high priestesses. I'd rather focus on ministering to those I can. And there's good in that, but theology is important. What do you think? Well, to be perfectly honest, your Ivali's always seemed a bit cold and distant to me. I love the Ivali you can feel in your heart, the one who laughs with you in good times and stands with you during the bad. Yeah, I would describe our Ivalin as like a girl boss. Parentheses derogatory. There's like 8 girls, one of which is a reptile. I mean, the best girl in Chrono Trigger is the cave woman. The Amazonian cave woman from ancient times. But your party isn't really following you around like that in Chrono Trigger. Ayla is best girl. It's true. Yeah, I played Chrono Trigger. Man, I should replay it. I've played it. It's such a short RPG. I could replay it without it feeling like too long. It's so good. It's so good. I played it years ago, many years ago. It's one of the earlier RPGs I played, and I fucking loved it. It's so good. But I am ashamed to admit that when you said 8 girls, I'm like, I can think of 4 of them. So I'm obviously really missing, unless you mean like 8 girls total. But I feel like there's only like 4 notable girls that you like hang around a lot. I love the Ivali you can feel in your heart. The one who laughs with you in good times and stands with you during the bad. 8 named girls total, that seems about right. So, you might actually be opposed to my positions on omnipotence doctrine. If we were to argue everything out in letters, maybe, but I don't think that's what you're really asking. I hear you saying that the church should be more thoughtful about its preaching in order to comfort the believers. I can agree with that. I'm glad to hear you say that, Hirin. These are frightening times. We should provide comfort to everyone as best we can. So you'll support me? I believe what I've said, but Sister Karina once taught me that I need to consider my own position first. I understand. Fuck, Sister Karina. How dare you undermine us like this? Fuck you. We really had it all sorted out. So, Ivala, just out of curiosity, Hirin has a soul highly attuned to divine energy. I don't really guide her, but I do comfort and encourage her. But she could, in theory, have been a high priestess for any other goddess. That's right. Just like in theory, you could have tried to do good works in the name of another. You know, don't you think it's a little too easy to just call on your goddess whenever you have a question? I own you! Get off your high horse. You are part of the harem whether you want to or not. It's better than being stuck in the fucking crystal. You are a natural resource I will mercilessly abuse. I wouldn't be like this if you'd been useful. But you have done jack shit the entire fucking game. You better answer questions at the very least. It's the least you can do. It's somehow also the most you can do. Which is fucking crazy when you're the closest thing we have to like the canonical god. with a capital G in world religion. Like, fucking... Get some fucking power, man! Until you prove your worth, you are at my beck and call, answering my questions, and you do not get to complain about it. What the fuck do you mean a little too easy? You watch everyone! Everywhere! The only reason you didn't answer questions is because you were stuck in the fucking crystal. And you're too shy. I think I hate God. Go fuck yourself, Evala. Based! Said it better than me. Fucking based. Maybe I will. I can do that now. Based! Even more based! I like you. Never mind. You're fine. I think one of the funnier in-universe jokes that play itself off without pausing for laughter is when you're interviewing the princesses and Simon tells half the harem to leave the room so you don't freak them the fuck out by having an army of women watching them simultaneously. Yeah, I love that they acknowledge that sometimes. Listen, Evala, if you aren't here to answer our questions, we will shove you back into the crystal. That's what I'm saying. We can always threaten with the crystal. Expository goddess cum dump. Sakan is one of the calmer part. I gotta say what I was thinking, but I don't want to say what I was thinking. I paused, I considered, and I went, I shouldn't say what I'm thinking. And then I continued reading, and I immediately went, but I gotta explain the pause. But I really don't want to explain what I was thinking. And now we're here. And it's all just kind of awkward. In a way that more tugs at my own, like, shame than anything else, because I have to contend with the fact that I thought that, like, being the expository goddess cum dump, it's like for zoo animals, how you have to like keep them enriched in their enclosure, and I just thought that like we could shove Evala back into the crystal, but like fuck her continuously just to keep her enriched in there. And that mental image boomed me, so I stayed quiet for like a solid 30, not 30, but like a solid like 5 seconds. And now we're here. And I really lost the plot, because now I explained it out loud as, okay. Sakan is one of the calmer parts of the nation, and I find the orcs here more receptive. We worked hard during the war. Deserve a break. Business is good, always some problems, but we stick it to the safest routes. Orkant, I must once again thank you for voluntarily losing, for my sake. You may consider that obligation resolved. You found a place in Sakan? Yes, I found the ideal of Takan appealing, but it's a rather brutish nation in many ways. Rather, I would say that it is a nation beginning to create itself. Regardless, I like Sakan best. We get more people and goods from other lands. Above all, though, I appreciate the equality available here. I wish we had more succubi, but I suppose it is a matter of persuading them to come. No doubt more difficult in some senses than others. I found employment here in the naval offices, as my old experience as a slave proved useful. Nice. This is why we like internships, because, like, you get hired as a slave, and then that leads to better work later. Like, really, this is why internships are good. The fishing will be really rough until things settle down. Yup. Fish not like burning boats. Good to learn. Is here a good place, Orkant? Yes, it should work well. The only question is if you want to favor accessibility or rigor. I forgot to save right before. Shame. Actually, I think it saved when I transitioned from the door. I'm gonna start saving in the slots 90 to 100. I can't deal with this shit. I can't deal with scrolling like that. We're gonna save in slot 90 to 100. I totally murdered that guy in my playthrough. I'm happy to have people here who didn't play optimally, so that we all have different experiences. I think I've been very good about not murdering people I don't have to murder. I even got made fun of for reloading when I got into a fight during the Lord of Blood segment with people who did like 1 damage and had 1 HP, and they're like, you couldn't flee, so like why did you care about killing them? And I'm like, I don't want to murder innocent people, man. It's like 50 EXP. It's nothing. Is here a good place, Orkant? So I really just pick one, okay. So let's check what we have right now. We have decent, good, improving. So still a decent. Okay, so effectively this is a pretty minor change. I did rigor on this one. Let me see. Does that affect the gain on the second one? Oh my god. What? Oh, you go here once you've Oh, that makes no sense. Wait, what are we doing here? So I can choose to promote here or in Sakan. Ah. I mean, for the orcs, I suppose I would prefer accessibility. So I guess I'll do that. That just makes more sense to me for the orcs. They're gonna have trouble following, like, super rigorous ones. But I'm surprised it disappears from here. Can you do that? I guess it'll spread by proxy. That's enough of being here in this garbage region of the garbage world. Let's go to Wynn's house. I know that sometimes I complain about this game being too long. I think I get swept through with Kirby's arguments a lot of the time. As the person playing through this game with executive decision-making ability about what I feel about this game, I really fucking dig this game, man. I don't mind that it's this long at all. It might be unfortunate because I streamed the game for like a year plus in order to get through it, but Jesus, this game is good. I can't believe we're this many hours into the game, and I don't regret the fact that I picked this game to stream, for knowing that I would lock myself into it for this long. Like, I had so many apprehensions about streaming this game, and I listened back a little bit to my very first stream of this game, and I'm pretty sure I was so stressed out during that stream. I'm like, I hope people don't think I'm super weird for streaming this and like don't enjoy it at all. Which I think came through a little bit, but once I settled in on like stream 4 or something like that, stream 5, dang, this game is good. I hate it and you're a freak. Parentheses, complimentary, not derogatory. You are super weird for streaming this. I mean, I feel like you're both saying this and it's factually correct, but you have the wrong vibe behind it. Anyway, I'm really happy I decided to stream this. It's such a good time. Oh yeah, I forgot that I used to be really into this before. I had some good ideas before I dropped it. Definitely some great questions for the harder end of the test. Interesting. You have some lovely components here, but they're just a bit past ripe. Oh, she can comment on everything? Oh yeah, my old blood magic face. Real, just like me. What were these even for? I'm having a hard time remembering. I was keeping this open as a reference book, but I guess I really should clean it up sometimes. Let's see, what do you have to say about everything? I was really proud of these defensive spells, but we were wholly surpassed them back at base. Just what do you think you're going to find snooping through my things? Are you telling me you don't have giant dildos hidden away? It is every woman's right to have giant dildos hidden away. I'm sorry to say it, but it's the truth. It's every single woman's right to have giant... In fact, I'll go so far as to say, it's every single person's right to have giant dildos hidden away. I feel like Wendy should have a comment on this, like, wow, you tried to revive me? That's really cute of you, while Simon suffers with a ... Wow, very sexist, Pip. Yeah, we've already established. Get new material, man. Simon, I want... but not now. Yeah, we'll talk to you later. Win, you know why I'm here. Give me a second to get naked. Other reason. Memory magic will be delicate. Your mind isn't the easiest place to navigate. I'll try to make it easy on you. Then let's begin. This is lovely, Win. You're a lovely pillow. I'd still rather be using you as the pillow. Hush, pillow. But truly, this reprieve has been a joy, Wendy's. Just relaxing here with you and Simon, away from the fighting. I wish we still had our old home. There was a tree there we always used to sit under. Surely the people are what makes the place special. I know that because of you. This lake will always be a wonderful memory for me. If you wait for Simon to come back, we can add a few more memories. I read a Reddit post recently about that asked, what do you do if your bi and your male crush fell in love with your female crush? Do you just like cry, or do you like go like, hey, I kind of like both of you, can we be a polycule? And I feel like Wendy's is sort of that between Simon and or rather no, Win is that between Simon and Wendy's. So many of the women in this game look like VTuber avatars of streamers with strong opinions about retro video games. You can just say they look like Glassmaid. Or whatever I think it's Glassmaid, that's his name. I'm saying that with no knowledge if they're actually, if they're trans, or if it's just like a VTuber avatar they have. If they're trans, I apologize. Isn't it Glassmaid? What? No, Porcelain Maid, isn't it? Yeah, it's Porcelain Maid, not Glassmaid. This guy. The manliest doll you'll ever see. Well, probably the only living doll you'll see. Is their bio. Porcelain, not porcelain, sorry, thank you. Porcelain mage. Maid. It's not... I also love that I said mage instead of maid. It's Porcelain Mage, which is a banger. It's a banger tag to have. I want to be the Porcelain Mage. You two are always teaming up on me. Some people die of thirst, while others drown. You know you like it. I won't be distracted, Wendy's. You've lost a great deal in the war, and you never talk about it. It's just... the northern lands are lost. Even if we regain them, our home is gone, and the land will never be the same. I know, that damn Incubus King. I can't even hate him so much. What makes me miserable is the loss of control. I thought I had my life in order. I had Simon, and you, and so many other things. All washed away by some stranger brought in by the tides of fate. Starting to feel like that's not figurative at all, and fate just do be doing that. You didn't lose everything. You still have us. I know, but my sense of peace, I don't know if I'll ever get it back. You know how much I love magical theory, but I've never said why. Everything is controlled there, orderly. But the real world, I don't like how much is completely beyond my power to change. You and me both. So many idiots running around and breeding. Win? I'm being serious. I wish the world was different than it was. Less frustrating, less stupid. But that isn't the world we live in. All we can do is cling to what's good and make a little world suited to ourselves. Win is in such a weird spot because, like, I mentioned Balia as a really bad example of like an autistic character. Or not bad example, but a very one-note, one-dimensional example of an autistic character. Win is also written as in the way that I would say autistic characters are written generally. But I find her to be far more engaging and interesting than Balia. I think I really like Win as a character. Both aesthetically and how she's written. She's a cool character. I'll have to... This is the problem with streaming sometimes, is sometimes I feel like I have something complicated that I wanna say or like get out, but this is the type of thing that I feel like I'll have to think about for a couple hours off stream of what exactly I'll land on with Win before I have something interesting to add there, but she is very cool, and I like the... like, she's socially awkward, but in a way that's a lot more believable. Because the thing is, she's also obsessive about a singular topic. She also struggles to understand, like, social cues, and she was incapable of saying sorry. She has troubles with what's the word? Interpersonal relationships, and she has really weird views of the world in a similar way to Balia. Balia is way more one note. I think you can write Balia so that she remains as extreme. Like, Win is less extreme on the spectrum than Balia, but I think it's possible to take a lot of the aspects that make Win interesting and apply them to Balia without reducing the fact that she's more extreme on the spectrum. I think you can do both in an interesting way. Like, Win in many ways is the model for how I wish Balia was written. Interpersonal? Yeah, makes sense. I mean, no. She does have trouble with interpersonal relationships, given that she went into a person in order to, like, try to revive her. You know, got the skeleton, got everything. Like, isn't that, like, an interpersonal relationship? Internal personal relationship. But that isn't the world we live in. All we can do is cling to what's good and make a little world suited to ourselves. That's a sweet sentiment. I just wish it wasn't true. Everyone with power changes the world, from dukes and merchants to the Incubus King. If we could just attain the same power. Wendy's, this is like if you get a genie and you get 3 wishes, and instead of asking for, like, the capitalist system that we all live under to be abolished and to, like, make it so we all live happily, you just go, give me $1 billion instead. It's like, cool, you solved the problem for yourself, but you didn't really systematically, like, change anything. But can we? Don't get me wrong. I'd love that. Deaf to all fools. Socially awkward, but not in the nobody here wants to talk to me about orcs way. I mean, Win had that at the start about sort of... Well, not really about orcs. Like, she didn't have a special interest like that, but she also really didn't talk to anyone. I don't know. I don't think that nobody here wants to talk to me about orcs is why Balia is uninteresting. Yeah, it is interpersonal, right? Wait, so I was right. It's interpersonal, not intrapersonal. Yeah, yeah, I was right. It's interpersonal, not intrapersonal. Nice, nice. I've gotten to the point where I just kind of defer to what's said in chat, because I just believe that I'm wrong by default. Don't get me wrong, I'd love that. Deaf to all fools. But the world is a fundamentally chaotic system. It'll never be as orderly as one of our experiments. Don't say that. It might be that way now, but in your world, you have the ability to change that eventually, maybe. Not that you'd know that now. That's a shame, but I suppose it's a fact we have to accept. Foreshadowing. And a little chaos is good. Without it, I never would have met you or Simon. I have to be worth a destroyed kingdom or two, right? Oh. Young Simon jump scare. Babyface Simon. I got all the food we need. We can stay here the rest of the day. Did I interrupt something? I guess not. Your wife is feeling sad about lost memories. Why don't you get over here and help make some new ones? Yes, come over here, love. Yeah. I guess I'll... What's wrong with you? Yeah, that's what happens when you shave. Yeah, that was one of the least interesting sex scenes yet. Shit, sorry. That's my strongest memory about your house. Not yours. I had forgotten about that. That moment when you remember it as the best sex of your life and your partner was like, not even worth remembering. Wasn't even that special. If I'm Win right now, I'm like, dang, fuck. If you really forgot about all our lovemaking, I'll be seriously insulted. That's what I'm saying! Win, you're goated. I'm on your wavelength. No, I have very clear memories of that. Fuck. It was the conversation beforehand that had slipped away. I guess at the time it seemed like a prelude. Do you want to talk? True, Munch. True. That's a bad excuse, though. We've also been dead for a little bit, I think. We have to have been dead at some point. Like, when we got... At some point in this game, we've had to be dead for, like, a little bit. Like a minute. Like, there's no way we've gone through 180 hours and haven't been dead for, like, at least, like, 30 seconds. No. Let's move forward. That was rather authentic. So I want to see our house. Alright? Just keep cooperating and we'll find it. Well, this bed doesn't look like it's getting a lot of use. But don't tease. You've got 0 risk. You can't get any fucking partners. You... Forever alone, girl. Wow, can't even, like, risk up a guy, huh? Man, Wendy's is fucked up. What counts as dead is a very contentious question. For you, maybe. For me, it's self-evident. What I say goes. Don't peek until we're inside. Don't peek? I'm keeping you blind so you don't peek. I guess that's what we get for doing parts of this. For each doing part of this. I think it's fitting. We both made things for one another, but neither of us have seen the final product. How the fuck does that work for a house? Well, we've stumbled in blind. At least hopefully we're in the right place. Alright, we let each other see in 3, 2, 1. Do you know what's insanely funny about this? And also simultaneously very fucked up? Retiring to the countryside in a cabin like this has explicitly been stated to be Janine's ultimate goal. Janine said that, like, she wanted to get married to Simon, and then once all this blows over, she wants to retire to a small cottage in the countryside. And now, she's not even involved in building or in this process at all. It's just Simon and Wendy's. And Janine is an afterthought. And you know what? Couldn't have happened to a worse character. Fuck Janine. She deserves it. Ah, how lovely. It isn't an exact copy, but it's pretty close to our old home, isn't it? With the gorgeous blue roof. Huh. I'm impressed you managed to recreate the tree. Yes, that took a combination of memory and arboreal magic. Altina doesn't even have dreams to steal. You're not wrong. She is such a non-entity. Here I am complaining about Balia when Altina exists. I'm not gonna lie. If there was zero gameplay change, I would have kept Altina as a mindless slave. Both because I have a fetish for it, and also because I think she'd be a more interesting character in hindsight. That has to lead to better dialogue than the fuck she's got going on now. The most lukewarm nothing character in the game. Like, that has to be both more... Wait, this isn't a mindless... I know, right? But no, you can make her completely, like, mind-broken. Our actual home was a bit more ragged, and had some other foliage, but I wanted to concentrate on the tree. Glad to see it again. By contrast, I don't recall hosting a bunch of magic crystals. You always were so absent-minded, dear. No, these are enhancements. The house interior plus the foundation are packed with magical storage. So you had more in mind than nostalgia. Of course I did. Do you really think rebuilding our little house cost so much? I guess I've grown so used to pouring money into projects, I didn't think about it. We're about to pour like 2 million into an orphanage. That's like 10 times this. Well, this one will pay off for you. With everything we built here, I should be able to forge powerful equipment for all of you. That's not so accurate to this period of our lives, but I suppose it does bring to mind the late war. We've come so far and gained so much power. Yet, it didn't even matter. No, sorry, that's wrong. Thank you for this, Simon. This is something I could never imagine before. Remember how long it took us to save up for the home? Scrimping and saving every sex, right? Yes. I'm glad, despite everything, that we haven't lost our roots. Wendy's, are you content? After all you've been through, is a simple home enough for you to be at peace? Please don't worry, I'm going to destroy the world. Oh wait, please don't worry I'm going to destroy the world or anything. I'm completely committed to your vision. I hereby remove all autonomy I have in the story. Unless I'm a liar, which could happen, but this sentence means that I have no drive to do anything that isn't exactly what you want to do. That makes me the perfect wife. A trophy with no clear will of their own. This is why The Last Sovereign is a conservative, wet dream. Not our vision. I love how perceptive he is. I hope it can be our vision. Everyone's vision. It's taken me a long time to heal. I'll need more, but I want to keep healing with you, Simon. Wendy's. This is a really good dialogue, despite me memeing on it. It really is nice to see this old house again. And to be standing here with you again. This was a really good dialogue. If the interior is filled with crystals, do we still have our old bed? No, that thing was garbage. The only good memories I have of it come from you. It would probably be terrible for my back now. If you wanna fuck, let's head back to the base, but I'd be okay with right here too. Sup? The entire fucking congregation moved in when I looked away, huh? Why are you squatting on my property? Who gave you permission to squat on my property? Don't forget, I can convert shining swords back at the base. I don't want to infect any of our creations here with the shining. Wendy's, you want to sit by the tree like old times? Not quite yet, love. There's still so much work to do. Ginasta, I know that we've had our troubles, but you cannot be Blair Witching me and looking into the hedge maze. Yeah, I'm also here. Don't rub it in. Do you want something? That's sort of the problem. I'm not clear on exactly what I need. You just want a present so you can feel pretty? Hey now, I'm trying to help. I jest. I'm glad to see you invested in our work. Though, not as glad as I was seeing Simon invest in you. You never stop, do you? Seems to me that you do have an informed ambition. I'm gonna be so sad when I don't hit 100 with Ginasta because of prior decisions I made in the game. It's really gonna tilt me. Seems to me that you do have an informed ambition. Everyone else is getting equipment, and I could use that, but yes, I have something more specific. There's a constant tension between my current position and my latent potential. I wish I could ease that, go Super Saiyan, if you will. We wouldn't want to suppress your nature or restrict you. What if we offset it? What do you mean? Imbue your equipment with additional power to offset what you're already carrying. I think it could work. It might. Thank you, Wendy's. I'll provide any samples or demonstrations you need. Then I won't even take advantage. I was gonna say, like, samples? What form do you want it to take? An earring? I hadn't given that a lot of thought. Nothing elaborate. Cloth, perhaps? Something that could go underneath clothing? Are you just taunting me now? I would never. You seem to prefer lighter armor. What about a headband? I understand that's a common form for magic-infused cloth. I learned recently that the Defias headband that you can get in World of Warcraft in Westfall, which inexplicably has like 0 stats and is the most baller drip in the game, and then is class locked to Rogue in Vanilla, was a prototype for a stealth mechanic where you would try to fit in with the Defias Brotherhood for a quest line, which I found really interesting. And now I know that they are going to give Ginasta some completely 0 drip, like turquoise headband instead of the infinitely more baller red headband that she should have to contrast against her teal hair. You seem to prefer lighter armor. What about a headband? I understand that's a common form for magic-infused cloth. You remember your theory lessons? I see. That could work if Ginasta likes the idea. I wouldn't mind that. And we just need to figure out the details. When they said we need a crystal of stability to create my equipment. Okay. Maybe we have everything we need here. That'd be cool. Simon, you know that old whip I've had for ages? Which one? Since the first gathering, if I recall. Well, Esther has an idea for improving it. Yara has really taken to it, but it could use a refresh. And what do you need? I'm assuming a liquid sex? Not just that, we've gotta fuck! I mean, Esther and I. You need to fuck me too, and probably both of us, but that's not related to the equipment. A magical ritual of some sort? The whip is still partially attuned to me. During the ritual, I can shift it to her, while also renewing it with the special materials. And, of course, I'll fuck her brains out in the process. You see her necklace? Or collar? I don't really know what you call this when it like is part of the clothing, but Valeria has such a similar motif with her clothing when we did the game doll earlier. I think you could definitely have Estera wear Valeria's clothing and vice versa, and it would work perfectly. Which is kind of a neat realization. I also now really think that you should replace the purple crystal, or the purple gem in the center with a green gem, and it would stick out really well. It would look super cool. But you gotta respect the color consistency. Bring it on! I won't go down so easily. Well, I'll go down very easily, but that's when I'll win. We'll see about that. Sounds like it has potential. I'll let you know when we have the resources. Simon, you gotta... You can watch. Hell, I want you to watch. Don't take this from me. Are you embarrassed? Come on, just give me a liquid sex, and then actual sex. This place. It was quite important to you, was it not? Yes, we have many good memories beneath this tree. Not all appropriate for polite conversation, if you catch my drift. Is what I'd like to say, but it doesn't apply so much in a harem. Despite the circumstances, I think your story is quite romantic. It is lovely that you can reunite here, with both old and new come together. Oh yeah? I don't think you came here solely to reminisce. No, I had a request. I was merely reluctant to demand anything. Out with it, I'll do whatever I can. In the Divine Claw, they spoke of a legendary gem of Serantir, one granted by Antiala at the founding of our nation. I've investigated the matter myself with our new resources, and discovered it to be just another myth. Oh yeah. But I thought, could we not create such a thing? Perhaps not a legend, but an artifact of power. I don't see why not. We should be able to fix you up with a lovely crystal. Me? No, I thought, for the sake of Serantia, not... You can't make a legendary artifact overnight. You can carry it around for a few years and let it build up strength. Well, in that case, I would be exceedingly grateful. It would be really funny if I never use her in battle for the entire rest of the game, so she has this artifact and she never gets to use it. What would we require for this? Definitely some more crystallized divinity. Perfect on both counts. If I can help to acquire one, I will endeavor to do so. We have like every single thing they've asked for, right? Wait, no, we don't have a crystallized divinity. Unless it's here in the valuable goo part, but I doubt it. And I wish I got some valuable goo. Why the fuck do I have the church warehouse in the Steinford slums key? Probably related to one of the... It might be related to Karina's quest, but it feels very out of place with the Incubus set and everything else. If you can find one of these items, I hope we can use it for my gemstone. So, I have a bit of an odd request. You should always feel comfortable asking. Yes, do tell. Beep! I was hoping to avoid your wife, especially if this turns out to be stupid and unworkable. It can't possibly be sillier than the sex toys the succubi keep suggesting. They use them in combat to good effect, though. Oh, I'm not talking about those. Well, I'm thinking about how we sent our energy to Simon once, and whether those of us who can't fight can help. The fucking Spirit Bomb tech. No, they're gonna find out Spirit Bomb, and that's how we're gonna beat both the Anak and Esther, or Hester rather. It's tricky. The harem bond is efficient, but you can't generally just gather mana from large populations. Oh, that's what I was thinking, more or less. I hoped all of us could charge up one of these powerful magical spells. Can it be ruled out? We've been implanting small shards and we have tower materials, so that must add up to something. Battlefield-grade spells might be possible. The problem is that just jamming mana together usually leads to inefficiencies, which we can't afford here. So the spell would work better with some sort of alignment, like say All-Day Valens working with Evala. That's an excellent example, but in that case, Evala already has a lot of potential for us to tap. Yes. Yes. Use her like a resource. Extract her divinity and her power for industrial gain. Kill the god and let man rise to the occasion. That would have hit way harder if I didn't stutter like 4 times during it. Fuck. The delivery. No! Then what about elves? Our natures are similar, and we've been doing so much research on those sexual weaknesses. Good thought. It might be tricky, but it's theoretically workable. Feel free to take whatever resources you need to work it out. Thank you, Simon. Her idea is viable, though the problem will be the mother. If you want to pursue it, we'll need crystallized divinity. It's leading up to us killing the mother, which wasn't what I was expecting. I assume we're gonna be presented with a choice, and I'm going to save the mother if it's presented to me. Or I guess enslave her, or whatever the fuck being part of my harem entails. It's a lovely little home, Father. I'm glad you like it. Do you have a creation in mind? I do, but I don't want to impose on everyone's resources. I'm currently making some plans to venture into the tower and acquire the necessary materials. You let me know when those are ready? Of course. This shaded corner is quite pleasant. Simon! Cumdump knows what she wants. Yes, Cum? Cumdump has been thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking for a long time. Cumdump wants a little magical Simon to be with her when she's lonely. I suppose that's... It can stay nice and safe in Cumdump's pussy. I am less sure that I'm following you. Okay, I don't think even Succubi want a literal doll shoved up their crotch. We need to figure this out. Cumdump doesn't understand. Robin, get over here. Between the 3 of us, we should be able to clear things up. Dude, she's so good. So, you want a piece of equipment modeled after succubus dildo magic, shaped like a certain mutual friend's penis. Yep. A little Simon. But why little? Isn't it the same? I'm not sure it would be productive to question her on that. Fine then. We just need to design the magic based on Cum's goals. Cumdump has a lot of ideas for Sparklies. It must be nice and friendly and help Cumdump heal friends and... I love her. Simon, Scary Simon Wife says we need gloopy sex, but it is not actually sex. Yeah, I don't have all the resources to create these yet. I have 1 liquid sex. I could have had more, but I made different choices during the... I could have had 2 by now, at the very least. But it is what it is. Liquid sex. Crystal of Stability. Didn't I use one on... Yeah, I don't have a Crystal of Stability. I don't have any of this. Oh, Nostalgic Home is a place in our base. Now, Best moment to join, dildo crafting. Well, we didn't actually craft the dildo, but we're getting there. I'm avoiding a lot of the crafting stuff. Well, not really the dildo crafting or anything like that. Actually, that's a really good thing I should test. I should test if this increases cohesion or not. Yayness! Created the little Simon. It's so pretty! Thank you, scary Simon wife. You have fun with that, alright? So, you're going to be running around waving a copy of my penis. Yes, because Cumdump loves Simon's cock so much. Huh. Cumdump is still here because the Simon flowers are pretty. How good is this item? Sometimes Cum talks to it. Fortunately, it was not given the ability to talk back. I assume dildos were meant to weaken cohesion in a person. Not in this game, random 404. You haven't... You're actually... Have you been here before? Do you know what this game is? I assume you do. Otherwise... Hello. We are 180 hours into a porn game. It is very good. Only randomly joined once. Makes sense, makes sense. Fair enough, fair enough. If you played it before, that's fair. You know what you're in for. Oh yeah, what I was gonna check is if this increases her cohesion at all. It doesn't. Good to know. In that case, we're gonna stay... or keep our resources for a little bit longer. We have a... well, really, what I really want to tackle more than anything is more of the Renfnor Wilds. Because I feel like we're at the end of like 4 character quests. But I feel like they all lock each other, so we should finish the stuff we have going on in the Renfnor Wilds. Did I talk to that character? Who? Oh yeah, it's the succubi that doesn't like it. We also have you here talking about Lilith, which we should pursue at some point for sure. But before that, it is time for joined Discord recently, God of Underworld. My friend Sahad was the one who invited me, but I've not heard from him for a while. Yeah, where is Sahad? I assume he's working. He seemed to have a tough schedule, but I hope he's doing okay. If you can, if you can, I'd appreciate if you like reached out to him just to check, because he's a cool guy, and I don't think he's posted in a while. Which isn't in any way a crime. You don't have to post. I completely fine to lurk. It's just he was a poster, and now it's been... well, it's only been 5 days. You can take a 5-day break. I hope he's okay. Hope he's having fun. Actually, I said 5 days? 6 days. Wow, never mind. No longer okay. 5 days, that's perfectly fine. 6 days, you've crossed a line, and it is unethical of you to not communicate how you're doing in my Discord. There's something about Fret from a pink blob. Wonderful, wonderful. He seems to be a wife guy, which I think is lovely. I'm really happy that he seems to have a good relationship there. Come on, let's go investigate the magic pool. It's time to talk about fate. My favorite. Wait, okay, so I assumed there'd be a trip of some sort. It was hidden deep in the Renfnor Wilds and rumored to exist. I assumed a trip of some sorts. This is the Pool of Destiny. Looks like water to me. It is surprisingly charged with mana, and soaking in it might absorb some, but I don't believe it likely to alter your fundamental destiny, but that much power might have an impact on your life. I'm sure the magical details are important, but can I use it to stab destiny in the face? This place is certainly more aligned with destiny than any other we've encountered, in the tower sense. We might be able to reach deep into the tower via this place, but it would be an expensive, dangerous, or challenging operation. Not expensive, but highly dangerous, yes. Even if we succeed at all the magic, we might have only a narrow window of time. You'll help me with this, right, Simon? Once we're prepared, I mean. It's just a question of entering fully prepared. God fucking damn it. I hope that day comes soon, but I can wait. Oh my god. Every fucking quest is dependent on a different quest. What's locking us now? We have I should check that. I should check Iris's request. We have the Karina request left. Oh yeah, Altina has stuff to do, I forgot. There's a ton of tower stuff. I'm really gonna backload the tower stuff, which might be positive or negative. Can I enter Philon and then come back after is a core question I need answering. Seems like I can enter. Then we should definitely explore here. Even though the music is slightly spooky. Not because it's inherently weird and spooky, but because it feels incongruent with the rest of the game. Unless this isn't Philon, we have arrived. I recognize this. Village SE11. What kind of name is that? All but a few of the oldest settlements were established with clear labels instead of unnecessary names. Oh boy, I can't wait to visit City Free. That aside, there are several important questions, namely, if we need to be concerned here and what we can do. This is a completely innocent village. We're in no danger, and please don't do anything to disrupt the people here. Full illusions for everyone then. When we're ready, I should be able to draw us into the inner tower mechanisms. This is close enough to accomplish all of our objectives. The path inward is, by design, rather winding. If I may ask a favor, I would request that we ease the barrier to improve the lives of the Philonese. Making it somewhat more porous would be beneficial for our purposes in any case. Presuming we can do that and penetrate to the center, do you think we'll face traps, potentially equal to those we've already seen? I just want to check if I can leave and do this, like, in parts, rather than if I have to do it all at once. I don't think you need to be worried about anything like what Hester did to you. The Annex power is fundamentally that of an incubus. It may be difficult at times, but I will do my utmost to keep us safe and guide us to the center. Is Celica still there, or would the Anak have taken her? Well, we need to get Celica, so she has to be there. She was installed in a specific location. I don't believe she could be taken away. The Anak has what he needs in any case. Oh, then we can rescue her. Is there any chance he would have left some of his plans? Not written, but there may be hints implicit in what's been left behind. We can address all that later. First, let's establish our bearings in the village. Okay, so it doesn't seem like a do everything at once type of deal. Good. The deeper waters are restricted for some sort of magical reason. How the hell are we going to fish now? Oh, we've seen a Philonese character at some point. Interesting. I thought this art style was like, I didn't quite catch that this was Philonese. Is it just me, or are the ice vines coming in weird this year? Are you a centaur? Foreign visitors? How rare. Should we have assigned someone to greet you? Are you a centaur? I think you're a centaur. That's awesome. Dude, I love the city. I'm never leaving the city. You can pet the dog. 10 out of 10. The Last Sovereign. It takes 180 hours, but you can indeed pet the dog. We mainly deal in local supplies. There was some Philonis guy visiting the Orgasmic Empire. Yeah, there's the ambassador, Luxor or whatever, I forget his name. But we've met other characters that have the same art style that aren't like named characters. I think we met like 2 or something like that. They're very, very rare. We mainly deal in local supplies. I doubt we have anything of interest to you. Wait, some of these have specific descriptions. Wait, no, this one. Oh yeah, sexy Philonis things slightly reduces ice damage. They have fur. Do I get something for buying this? Like, are you happy I'm supporting the local economy? No? Okay. Well, I don't need a fur robe, unfortunately, but it is cool you sell it. Hello, Cloud Strife. Those damn ice veins broke my spade, so I gotta get a new one. It's like Catboy Cloud Strife. Which, to be fair, is a baller. Oh yeah? You can't be spreading your propaganda in Village SE11 Frame 1. You need to have a little bit of patience. Sestris, would it be inappropriate to ask you about Philonis martial arts? No, but we have little to offer. Our nation was focused on magic and industry. I see. Was that an intentional end to the conversation? I don't mind talking, I just didn't want to waste your time. Since we have a few moments of peace before the end of the world, some talking would not be amiss. Though I fear my mind moves immediately to negative topics. Am I correct in thinking that Philon does not think particularly well of Sirantia? Through a sort of similarity breeds contempt principle? Yes, there's a degree of that. Many view Sirantia as somewhat primitive and overzealous. Very fair description. Fuck Sirantia. I spent $2 billion on your infrastructure, and all you do is complain and say I haven't spent enough. Fuck Sirantia. They might term it something like an older sibling's regard for the younger, but the condescension... Yes, I understand. Though I should say that I do not personally disrespect you in any way. Oh good, I was unsure, because you are difficult to read. You don't say. No, I take a much more relativistic approach. Philon and Sirantia might be in different positions, but it's foolish to say that one is more mature than the other. Truly, you don't think that Sirantia will mature over time? It will change, and many will mark those changes as maturity. I suspect that's not a useful way of considering such changes. A curious thought, I will need to think on this. That openness is something I admire about you, truly. I long ago began to feel that I had seen everything, and I believe this has only been to my detriment. Sestris, you need to talk to a localized earth goddess that we have chained in our basement, who has seen a slight bit more than you have, and thus could maybe aid you in getting off that high horse of being old as fuck, because really, you are but a speck of dust in the grand scheme of things. If I may ask, what do you think of the harem? It must be quite a difference for you. Oh, unless Cersei says others we never knew about. Not during my time. He was already stepping away from that aspect of being an incubus king. This is a topic I would prefer not to discuss. Of course, I didn't mean to make you consider such painful matters. But I hope that we can be friends, even if you're only partially within the harem. I desire to be, in any case. Thank you. Neat. And that upped the Uye score from decent to decent, and skill level from good to good, and overall quality from improving to improving. And wasn't at all just a Trojan horse to have that conversation. I just went in here. Why did I go back there? Easy girl, you'll get your food in time. me and my puppy girl be like. These provincial little towns, they're quaint, I suppose. Me giving rage bait to Kirby in the chat. Easy girl, you'll get your food in time. I only said that to rage bait Kirby when he watches the VOD later. If you don't have any business here, please move on. You'll make the wolves all snuffly. They're allergic to me? That's cute. The wolves can survive just fine even in blizzards, but they like being inside to have their fur brushed out. We do keep other animals, you know. Isn't it kind of fucked up to be half animal and keep animals like livestock? If not for the wool from our beasts, humans would be miserable in the colder parts of Finland. Truly a symphony. No entry. We've got to keep the port safe from suspicious foreigners. Dude, are you... Dude, do you need help? I'm here to help you. Signal from the bridge if you need help. I think you're experiencing a state of delirium. I was just trying to help. They've been promising to clear the region for years. Never gets done. A bar? He turned insane because he didn't get to pet the wolves, which is very understandable. That would be me if they didn't allow me to pet it. Why don't they serve hot chocolate? I wanted hot chocolate. Instead he got beer. Welcome to the Frumpled Feather. My sister and I can get you anything we have on tap. Philonese wine. Insanely expensive. 50 times more expensive, but doesn't get you drunk. It literally doesn't even give the status effect. That is so tragic. I'm gonna buy one to support the local... Well, to me, this doesn't matter that I can't get drunk off of it, because, like, I can't get drunk on anything. I can't even drink it because I'm on full HP. That's tragic, man. Not a lot of people here right now. It's the middle of the freaking day. I'm trying to get us started on food too, but everybody wants to eat at home. It's funny, in Sweden, we actually changed our regulation. Before you had to serve food at a bar, and very, very recently, I'm talking like 1 or 2 months ago, I believe, we changed it so that you can get a license to serve alcohol without serving food at the same time. It's so cold this far from the capital. I hate traveling out here. I'm not staying, I'm just here to warm up. Oh my, such a large group. I'm afraid we're only really capable of hosting a few travelers or sailors, so I don't know. Don't worry, we're only passing through. Oh, that's good then. It's not like we get too many customers, so you don't need to clear out too quickly or anything. We run the best inn in town. Yes, it's the only inn. So what I'm expecting to happen is we're gonna enter the tower thing here, and then we're gonna get to the next city, and it's just gonna be like slightly worse every time we get closer to the capital. I want your mages to check me, but I believe we can transition to the tower here. To the barrier on Silica. We'll have to wind our way through, but yes. There don't seem to be many complications, now that we're inside the barrier. All the magic appears quite normal. As it should be. We wanted the people of Finland to be able to live without advanced magic. But our journey will be long. Let me know when you wish to depart. Not yet. I feel like if I start a big thing like that, I won't finish it the stream, because I will be too tired before we finish it. So, we have a couple key things. notably, I'm gonna check. Did I finish Vala's thing? What is she? What? Vala doesn't have a quest, I don't think. On. She disappeared from here. Have I completed it? No, I haven't gotten Vala's request. Interesting. I forget. I need to look back in the stream and see exactly what it is she said, because I remembered the gist of it, but not enough details. Janine, what do you have to say? I wish I could read Japanese. You're exposing me right now because I have Anki flashcards for basic phrases that I used to do like a while ago. I'm talking like a couple years ago, and then I've like slowly lost the ability to read hiragana, and it tilts me so much. I really need to sit down and just memorize hiragana again. It is like insanely embarrassing to have taken a year of Japanese and lost, like having lost the ability to read hiragana. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was gonna go to the Order of Thaumaturgy for our goat, Robin. We'll keep the English then. Thank you very much. Hi. You know that the first thing I'm gonna do when the stream is over is just quickly double check what you said in Japanese. And I'm gonna be sad that I didn't have that off the top of the dome. But I haven't looked at like the hiragana in like 5 months or more. I briefly for like a week was like, I'll relearn the alphabet. And then I got to the point where I could easily, like I could read like 70% of the signs and at like a decent speed. I could understand them without cross-referencing, and I was like, sick. So I'm almost done. And then I just gotta keep it in memory, and then I stopped doing it, and I immediately lost it. Yep, that is how it goes. I don't know when I would travel to Japan either and need it. If anything, it would be that I would want to read like visual novels or light novels untranslated, or manga untranslated too. That would be the core conceit for why I would want to learn Japanese. But I haven't really had there's enough media out there that I want to consume that isn't Japanese that I haven't had the motivation to do it. But it's something that's on my bucket list of things to do, get back to. I heard you were planning on oh yeah, wait, no, this is the one where you get to pick. I should do this one later. I forgot. Right? Let me see. Yeah, this is the one where you can do anything. So like I want to do this one last to see how we're doing with that. Let me see. It's 2 questions. We now have the quest to talk to every high priestess, which should include the one here. Yeah, we weren't allowed to talk to Nabif before, but now we can because we got the quest. So we should talk to Nabif. Please excuse me, sister. Oh my. Well, in that case, Nabif, would you be open to a discussion of, shall we say, praxis? Well, this promises to be interesting. So, it seems to me that you want to draw a clear line between the works of the Church on Earth and a supreme Evala in heaven. Exactly. I think it could be a comfort to all of those hurt by the destruction of the Crystal of Evala. Sarai, you really gotta, just for the reaction image, you gotta show them Evala. Just so they know where you're coming from. Comrade Sarai? Correct. Exactly. Yeah. I'm not so certain that a proclamation of Evala's omnipotence is the right path for us. Why not? There's a long tradition of declaring heresy against close conflations of worldly powers in Nevala. My concern is not with pure theology, but the church as it relates to its followers. After everything they have endured, I am not certain all believers would be comforted by the proclamations of omnipotence. I can't believe Sarai hasn't thought of this, because I agree entirely. But given all they've experienced, isn't there comfort in believing in a Nevala who stands beyond the messy evil in the world? I would argue the opposite, but I can see where you're coming from. Sarai, this isn't a formal discussion of the argument from evil, it's about how the people will react emotionally. They have heard from numerous godlike beings, seen the heavens shake, seen institutions and leaders fail them time and time again. I think that many simply will not believe in omnipotence. I love this angry expression because it feels like they just added eyebrows onto the normal one. They just like took 2 lines in MS Paint, and it's really funny to me. I suppose you could be right. But what are you suggesting as a replacement? I don't think claims of a simple, fallible Nevala will offer much comfort. Well, as a High Priestess, I've certainly had better success admitting that I don't have all the answers. Unfortunately, we happen to have a pretty big answer. And I don't think the people should know that we have that answer. But it puts us in a pretty awkward position in terms of the doctrine. I think it's best to focus less on doctrine and let Nevala come to meet people where they are. Proverbially, not literally, right? I love the ... Like, I'm not gonna bite on that. I'm gonna just let that one slide. What I fundamentally wanted was for the church to reconsider some of its dogmatism, and there's no doubt you're doing that. I'm glad to have you thinking about these troubles as well, sister. But ultimately, I fear that there can be no answer that will be a comfort to all. Which has always been the case, and doesn't relieve us of our calling. Exactly. Not even a... I can't believe I helped a meeting between 2 high priestesses. That's crazy. You did it, lady. What do you think, Succubi? So Robin is apparently here somewhere. I'm glad that the Order of Thaumaturgy can remain an essential part of Yihilin, despite all that's changed. Didn't I already interact with this? I'd love to come back and try my complete test here. Yeah. Once we're done. I love these crystals so much. I wonder if I could use them for... Lady, you a freak. And I like it. Didn't they say Robin was here? Didn't Fuani say that Robin was here? Maybe Robin is inside the portal where the test is conducted. That seems plausible. I thought it said... Could be in the School of Thaumaturgy as well. I.e. in... where she started, not in Yihilin. That is a fair... Everywhere I turn, there's a random character standing. And dread fills me when I realize that despite dilly-dallying around in every single town, it is going to be fucking impossible to miss or to get every single side character that's just randomly staring off in the distance in a random corner of the map. What are you doing, Come? Kamdan thought that maybe this place would be good, but it is too outside, and maybe the children will get lost. Good for you, Kum. Stay cute. Wrong region. We don't... Actually... Have you done our personal quest? Yes, we're almost done with it. We stopped for... because I'm pretty sure I can get more teachers for her than there currently are. We've done everything except assign a teacher to the school. That was 2 streams ago, I believe. Robin, are you in here? Nope. Okay, it's time for the pedophile. Maybe the Doom King was exonerated about the Crystal of Ivala. But what does he want? The luscious bodies of our students? Yeah, bro. Robin isn't here? Where is Robin? I gotta go back and talk to Fuani. I don't... Because I also was like, there's no way she's here. The Doom King wants Shy Girl. The horror. Wait, when you say Shy Girl, you mean the one in the demonic, or in the Orgasmic Empire? What the fuck? Steinford Farm is thriving? There's happy music? Welcome to Steinford Farm. Here, even the poorest can find a life if they're willing to work. Some of the daddies say the tree gets in the way, but I like it. We're actually using the big house as a home for many, so if you don't mind. This land has long been poorly used due to the threat of raids, so I hope we can make it fertile again. Cute. Nice. I don't know if I've ever visited there after we solved every problem in the world. Okay, Fuani, you gotta hit me up. I must have misunderstood. I thought you said that Robin was chilling in the Order of the Thaumaturgy. What happened? You mean Show. And Show is in the Orgasmic Empire. Robin has been spending time at the Order of Yihilini Thaumaturgy lately. Well, evidently not, because I don't have her quest, and she wasn't there. So Fuani, why are you pointing me there? Interesting. But yeah, she was in the Orgasmic Empire. I've talked to her. But I can do it again. Oh my god. She was in the magical defense room of the Orgasmic Empire. Which is 1 floor up from there. She's up here. Some of the succubi conform to stereotypes, but those working in the defensive chambers are all excellent mages. So you lied to me. No, there's probably a different location she's at, but she's meant to stay at the Orgasmic Empire now, so I'd be very confused where... Or no, wait, are you talking... Wait, wasn't there a... Is there a different Giga Shy Girl? Yeah, so I thought you were making that joke until you elaborated. And then when you elaborated, I took it seriously, because I was like... That makes no sense to elaborate on if it's part of the joke. You know, if you have to explain the joke, it's not funny type of deal. That's tragic. Also, you need to stop being racist against succubi. We're pretty much working as partners now. Not like that. Don't even think it. Approximately 1 million succubi have already done it. Yeah. You gotta be lesbian. You can't work with succubi if you're not at least a little bit lesbian. Or bi. It just doesn't work. You're insulting their culture by not engaging in it. But like... Seriously, what the fuck do you mean Order of Yihilini Thaumaturgy? I've scouted every inch. And there ain't no fucking Robin here. They just keep saying I can enter if I really need to, and then they don't let me enter. What quest? I talked to Fawani, and Fawani says that Robin is doing something at the Order of Yihilini Thaumaturgy. And Fawani points you to the start of all the character quests, but Robin's quest I have not done Robin's quest. And she is not here. So Fawani points me here when Robin is in fact not here for a quest. But yeah, I was right there like 5 minutes ago. I have spoken with her at the base, yes. But I can go back and check again. Maybe some condition has been met, and I'll get different dialogue if I talk to her now. But I've spoke to her multiple times. So it's not that. Fuani just points you in the wrong direction. It lies. It says that, yo, there's a quest here you can do. Iris wants you to meet her in Helvana, but won't say why. I can do that. Might be they need to unlock it. That was my guess, yes. I can go in here. Anything new in here? Nope. Now, this building is interesting. There was the Succubus, also the religious quest, but there's the Succubus Knights. Did I fund you? You look like a real character, but I guess you're not. I'm sad I spent money on you when you aren't like a real harem character. That's tragic. Yeah, Larell, could I trouble you with a matter of theology? If it's Evalan theology, I don't know if I can help. I already feel swamped by everything that's going on. It's no trouble. I'm sure we'll have much more to discuss in the future. Hopefully I can be more useful then. Tragic. Not the perfect playthrough. Cringe. Once again, Iris wants to meet me in Helvana, yet Iris is not here. Please donate anything you feel anything you feel led to the mission. Please donate anything you feel led to the mission to the Orgasmic Empire. I'm getting the sense that this is a very poorly constructed sentence. Please donate anything you feel led to the mission to the Orgasmic Empire. I don't believe I've heard of this. Now that we have easier access to the Orgasmic Empire, we wanted to go meet with the Lustlord worshippers there. Might be a bit strange. Some of us left the Orgasmic Empire, while others were born on Arkland and never even knew it. Our practices have no doubt changed. I prefer the temples here, if you ask me. The traditional faiths are too stuffy. Then maybe our arrival can inject some new life into them. Since they seem well-intentioned, I believe this could inspire additional connections between nations. Or at least ecumenical orgies. Interesting. Maybe that's the thing she wanted to see me for? I'm curious about that. I'm getting body blocked in the street. This is messed up. Yeah, because she's not here. I'm starting to think Fuani might not be all-seeing. And she might be messing up a little bit. Preposterous, I know, but... Here I thought she was omnipotent. I should head to the elves for Bertricia. I want to go speak to Bertricia right away. I'm kind of on the Karina and Sarai quest lines right now. You won't be able to get anything past Anna easily. She's a stickler for detail. I wanted to ask what you actually fought. Is this trying to twist doctrine toward our ends? Well, the truth is that at some point it all becomes so complex that you can't speak about a clear truth like you can with holy books. Is that a challenge for your work? Can I just make a really bad joke? Karina, you're positively shining right now. Because she's standing superimposed on the shining interactable spot on the map. Not at all. I believe the unchanging tenets of faith should continue to be explicit. Fuck this game, man. Explicated? Now you're just fucking with me. Explicate. Dude. I explicated on that YouTube video that we talked about earlier today. And I posted about in the Discord. I really did explicate on that. Just use explained. Should continue to be explicated in ways that reach our changing world. And you're open to what I want to do? I just don't see how the old Inquisition could help in this new world. I'm sympathetic, but the question is whether I can give you a sufficient doctrinal argument. Don't say that, Bertricia. You're brilliant! Oh my, that's very kind of you to say. She wants to fuck you! She wants to fuck you! Reciprocate! So you're hopeful that you can help? The two of us have been studying many related issues, so I think I could be a great help to you. Those two were so helpful. I think we're completely ready on the theological end now. But I'm not ready yet. Sarai, to what do I owe the pleasure of an in-person visit? Believe it or not, I want to discuss abstract theology with you. If you aren't teasing, you are a delight. I've been contemplating a variety of Evalan doctrines, in particular how they might adapt to recent events. I can understand why you might not want to discuss that with just anyone. It's a rather fraught topic even in better times. The potential implications won't bother you? On the contrary, I love seeing how theology has changed over history as we grapple with both Evala's teachings and our world. So, what specifically did you want to discuss? Well, I have a lot on my mind in relation to omnipotence, particularly in an era when many are claiming godhood for themselves. A return to your treatise on transcendence, yes. Yes, but I think I need to work through those ideas more to reach your standards. But I'm also considering how Evalans over history have reacted to polytheism and competing claims on divinity. That is often on my mind as well, considering the syncretism I see in many elven believers, who also praise the Mother. They have become troublingly xenophobic as of late. My heart aches for the elven Nevalans. I worry about it too, but I doubt we'll solve a problem like that ourselves. No. We're gonna capture her like a Pokemon, and then it'll all be fine. I've figured it out. We put her in a box until she says sorry, and then we let her out, and her pride won't let her say sorry for so long that she'll have, like, repented and stopped being xenophobic by the point that she gets to the point where she'll say sorry. We'll feed her, we'll let her keep her dignity, insofar as it's possible while you're imprisoned in a box for weeks on end, but, like, a little bit of White Room torture, or alternatively, if you don't want to go that far, a little bit of being in like a cat box has not hurt anyone. Some would say that is the highest, like, form of Marshall's hierarchy of needs. It's the highest staple on the Marshov's hierarchy of needs. But you said you wanted to discuss abstract theology. Yes, here's a thought experiment. What if we see more goddesses who don't claim exclusivity or even operate under Evala? A return to the beatification heresies, perhaps? That's what worries me. Doctrine is so far against any such concepts. I don't see how the church can adapt. Oh, but unless you've read Heretics, you don't have the whole story. Simon would be lovely on this topic. I don't suppose he's with you? I'm standing 2 feet away from you. Well, you could definitely say he's with me, but I'd hope to speak between us. Of course, Sarai, of course. The beatification heresies were not as simple as are acrimonious, or as acrimonious as you may have been led to believe. Weren't some of the so-called saints burned at the stake? Sounds pretty furious. I know they're using illusions. We just, throughout the entire playthrough, we poked fun of the fact that we're just standing right next to them. And that the entire Sylvan said, like, or Raven, I guess, said right earlier today that, you know, it's really funny that the entire party is piggybacking on Simon. So effectively, this is Sarai talking while 18, like, women and Simon are standing behind a tree covered in illusions, kind of just staring at them. You know, peeking from the branches going, interesting conversation they're having, but like at a respectful distance. It's very funny. Eventually, yes, but there was actually a strong consecrationist faction in favor of Evalan saints, with plenty of extant writing. Oh, what did they say? In essence, that saints were nothing but an extension of how we already operate. I've read some about this. Some claim they were putting saints as a new posthumous rank, above high priestesses. Their arguments were more sophisticated than that. The idea is that you consider other believers. Asking them for help doesn't imply lack of faith in Evala. But just as you might ask a priestess for wisdom or a holy knight for strength, you might ask a saint for help of a more spiritual kind. So, like, I get the argument you're making here, Beatrice. I could talk to God. I have a direct line of communication with your principal deity. I think I would do that. I get it, arguing that the saints weren't little gods, just particularly exemplary believers. Exactly, it was really quite a prominent position for some time. You might expect desecrationist factions to be their enemies, but it was actually subsecrationists who pushed back the hardest. Let me guess, once they pushed the theological boundaries further back, desecrationists and zealots took over. Followed by burnings and internal conflicts, yes, it was a very sad time in the church's history. I'd like to read more of those books, but let's continue the thought experiment. What if saints re-emerged today? I don't know how likely that is, given the changes successfully pushed at Goonfall, but go on. What if elves started saying that the mother is a servant of Evala, or succubi invent a saint to embody the sexual matters we're lacking? Well, as a matter of theology, I would have to deal with each development in terms of its practical effect on Evalans. But I think it's important to meet people where they are. Succubi believing in a succubus saint might be opening their ears to more Evalan teachings. I wasn't sure if you'd react positively. I may not be pro-beatification, but I hope that we can all embody some aspect of Evala in our lives. Like how girl boss and how gaslight she is. It really is an interesting little thought experiment. Do you actually think such beliefs likely to emerge? Let's just say I think it bears further consideration. Lovely talking to you, Bertricia. We'll have to do this again sometime. I would love to. I can't wait for when we reveal to her that God is in our party. Evala is chilling in the back. For so long, we thought the Council of Goonfall would define the next generation. I see that events have already moved on. Interesting, interesting. I also want to talk to the artist. Why did Robin go ... Everything was too noisy for a while there. Glad that's over. Robin, explain. Why did you go ... With no context. Fucking... If I enter and you go ... again, I'ma lose it. This game is evil, developed by sadists, and generally unscrumptious to its players. I haven't gone here in ages. I wonder if there's a Chosen wandering around or some bullshit. I mean, there probably shouldn't be, because the because Hester is in the Divine Realm, but sometimes it's nice rechecking areas. It is. This game is insanely evil. Like, to a degree that I've never seen a different game be. It is very refreshing, but god, it's devious. Denmiel Archives. Anything interesting here? This isn't a popular tree after the incident, and it'll be less popular if we allow outsiders to wander in. Okay, okay. Get racist. There we go. There's Aurelicy. I was looking for you. What do you have to say? Simon, I want to deal with the mother, but are you feeling okay? Not yet. Nice, we gotta solve our own problem before we can deal with the mother. Makes sense. So that's another quest that relies on us completing other things beforehand. Makes sense, makes sense. How's the orphanage doing? I grew up here. Now I'm back to protect it. The children were absolutely terrified during the attack, but thankfully they were never in serious danger. Cute. That would have tugged my heartbeats or tugged on my heartstrings if they got hurt, like seriously, during the war. That's very cute. I confess that the exact nuances of life here eludes me. Can anyone assist? I'd be happy to, but I fear I have no good news for you. Oh, what do you mean? The forests have rarely favored the types of martial skills you hope to develop, and the Mother's Guard will resolutely refuse to share their knowledge. However, I could give you suggestions on how to promote without turning aside elves. Then I would be grateful for your assistance. Neat. Did that improve its standing? Nope. I don't need to enter every single one of these. I say, and there's only one that's enterable. I forgot. Where the hell was the mother during all that? Yeah, don't worry. That was scary, but Daddy says it's okay to go outside again. Oh yeah, no, we already paid for this. I'm sorry, I went here thinking we still had to cleanse the water here, but we did that ages ago. I forgot. I mean, it's still good to visit here, because this is where we have her quest. I want to ask Simon to help with something, but he still seems so depressed. Okay, we gotta fix this. Simon, undepress now. Think happy thoughts. I'm curious, what does the game... Help Simon recover from his ordeal. Interesting. I feel like this has the opposite effect, where he gets more depressed by going here, but like... I gotta go here anyway. I'm sorry, Simon. I suppose there's no High Priestess here? For some reason I thought there would be a High Priestess just vibing around here, but no. What? You've got a urn standing in the corner and I can't break it? At some point I'm gonna fund Fairholm. It has to be done, but it's very hard to prioritize your resources in an efficient way. We can continue your quest, Altina. Let's let Altina be a real character for a bit. I'm fumbling around a bit here because I don't want to commit to one of the larger segments when I'm a little tired, but I think we're reaching the point where every future stream is gonna be like one big segment, one big segment, one big segment for a while. Or maybe two in each. Feels like such a long time ago that we were here. So much has happened since then. Altina. Oh, don't worry. This isn't about me or past trauma. I'm just feeling weighed down by how much is behind us. For all that we've saved, much has been lost. Thinking about that led me to this old shrine and what it represents. The lost elven kingdoms in the northwest. Exactly. I realized that I want to act to make sure they aren't really forgotten. Even with the area divided between New Javini, the Shal Estates, and Tarkan, there has to be something left, right? Something left in multiple senses. Oh, Iris, you were listening? Yeah, she's part of our 18 people that are standing right next to us right now, listening to every word. Keep talking. They won't intrude. Now, I must confess that preserving anything from the Elven Kingdoms was not my priority when I was younger. That's alright, I'm not proud of my younger self either. But some succubi were interested, and I did preserve some records and information from them. I know this isn't critical to the war effort, but I think it might be best to start this process now. Surely monuments and records wouldn't deteriorate in a few more years. No, but you have to consider another source, living memory. A great deal of information about the Elven Kingdoms exists only in the minds of elderly succubi. Could Riala help us with that part? I can share what I remember, but I was usually at the warfront. Please, Simon, can we pursue all this knowledge? We have to act before the old Elven Kingdoms are lost forever. Of course we can. We don't have unlimited resources, but it's a worthy cause. I warn you, the tower will be almost useless for this, because magic will have been so thoroughly overwritten by the war and aftermath. Thank fucking God. Whew. One less tower segment. But we can still travel around the world, gathering scholars and records, right? Actually, I think this is a good place for administration to step in. We can summon everyone with relevant information to a conference. That might be for the best in general. We can set the agenda and leave scholars to do the long work of recovering history. This quest is done like a 180 from where I thought it would go, and I'm so down. It's gonna be like a political segment, basically. I love it. I'll put out the call, and I have a little surprise to start things off. I know of a surviving elven relic site. Oh, that would be great. Can we see it? Why don't we organize our scholars? Then I can transport everyone there. I hope we can make a real difference so that the old kingdoms aren't forgotten. I didn't even get a choice. This shit is crazy. I think I'm gonna be crass or boring and end here because I'm getting a bit tired and I technically have to go up to work tomorrow even if I work from home. However, I don't intend to work nearly as long tomorrow, so I will compensate with a much longer stream tomorrow, probably 5 hours or something like that, 5-6 hours. Hopefully starting at a better time as well. It's been pretty dead in here, but that's probably because Kirby is asleep, Sahad isn't here, and Niklas and Marcus had to go to sleep as well. So tomorrow we will start earlier, is what I'll promise. I'm a bit curious how I'll do, given that I could work 1 AM to 5 AM as well. It'll be an interesting question how I do the rest of the week for work. But yeah, I'm ending it here. Feels like a little bit of a nothing segment, but that's my own fault. I didn't want to commit to anything big with fewer people here and with less energy. So we kind of wandered around a bunch. I max RP with her since ages ago, and I did not find out how to continue Robin's quest. So... Oh, I can just leave. Wonderful. I left by mistake, but that's fine. I was gonna say, what do you mean? I haven't picked up Robin's quest, is the problem. And Fuani says that she's in the Order of Yihilini Thaumaturgy, but she's not. Like, I'll see exactly what she said. So I think maybe a different quest is required to get her there. It's curious. Didn't we also have Hilstara somewhere? Hilstara is chilling somewhere, I forget where. Hilstara, point me to where you're chilling in the overworld. This does seem bugged. Oh no. Can you bug report it for me? In the Discord? I don't know how to bug report it without spoiling the fuck out of myself. I can test anything you need me to test and send the save file and everything, but I would really like if it's not bugged. Could also be that you need to do one thing first. Is it a spoiler? I could what's the word? I don't mind doing a bunch of stuff until I figure it out. I don't mind that at all, but Simon needs to fix a thing. Are you searching for Robin? I'm sorry. Fuani claims that Robin is in the Order of Thaumaturgy, and she's not. So I can't start Robin's quest. Simon needs to fix a thing? Yeah, I mean, if Simon needs to stop being depressed, that's fine too. She should be there, she's not. Can you show me? Yes. So Fuani claims in Renfnor Wilds that Robin is in the Order of Thaumaturgy, and Robin is decidedly not here. And I have not started Robin's quest. The floating papers are Wynn's quest, and I've already done them. I need to come back here after I've sorted her test out to refine it. I can show that as well, but that is not Robin. So yes, can you enter the portal? Nope. Nothing. If Simon needs to stop being depressed first, that's fine. I don't mind. But I also don't want to, like, spoil myself on it. On the reason. If you can avoid it. Or alternatively, if it's, like, minors, like, I can go fix it, but... It's like... I assume that we're gonna fix Simon's problem kind of by doing a bunch of other stuff until we stumble upon the thing that fixes it. Or there's like a set number of things you have to do to fix it, which is also reasonable. But yeah, Robin ain't there. Wasn't there, I need to check if, wasn't there another one that wasn't, I mean, it also said that Iris is in Helvana and wants help, and Iris is decidedly not in Helvana either. Trin seems antsy about something, but it might not be possible. Yeah, Robin has been spending time at the Order of Thaumaturgy lately. Bali has a request. That does exist. Please meet Lenine Feltiar if you have a minute. She's too nervous to ask you about something. I need to find Hilstara. She's like the last one I haven't found. I'm gonna make a solid guess that she's in the Steinford region. Up here! How the fuck does that take you to Yihilin? Hello. They aren't letting students out to gather ingredients, which means I have to waste time fetching this shit. That's the pass going directly there. I don't look at geography. Look, this pass doesn't go directly there. Man! The reason I ask is because most of the time they don't let you actually pass through there. I don't know when that opened up, but for the longest time they were like, we have no reason to go there. Just take the teleporter. Don't walk up there, take the teleporter. I would like to anyway. I've heard... Wait. We don't have any reason to visit Rebel's Path. Or Rebel's Pass. I would like to anyway. I've heard rumors of recent trouble. It's always trouble, but... Very well. What do we got here? It's just like I thought. That armor, the red light mercenaries must be here. Oh, Hilstara. I hope this isn't difficult for you. I remember everything that was done to me, but I've moved past that. Through all these experiences, your friendships, and yes, Yara, via all the sex too, fucking prevails over all! They've been lying low for years, but this might be our chance. How do you want to do this? With my own hands. Fighters, I need you to scout for backup. Succubi, search for any sexual artifacts or fields. You got it. Aye aye, sexy leader Hilstara. Mages, can you set up a field to prevent them from teleporting? With great confidence, our magic is well beyond standard arcane spells now. Good. Now, I'm going in alone. I still think we should relocate. Yihilin's troops have more and more mages all the time. Oh, relax. The tyrants are too busy fighting wars to police every little pass. You always were overconfident, Ivastan. Once, you had me to manage the details you didn't care about. No new second in command? Fuck, I knew I should have left with the others. The red lights have dwindled to nearly nothing under you. Is this really all that's left? You think this is all we have? Other than the soldiers, who my allies have already rounded up outside, of course. Ivastan, our teleport spells are blocked. I can try to break through, but the barrier feels overwhelming. Let it go, bitch! Just leave us alone! No. No. I don't think that's really an option. Guess you never got your brains back after they were fucked out of you. We'll kill you! Try. I forgot about his comically big hammer. He really is compensating for something. Now, I have a suspicion that this is gonna one-tap. You know, close enough. Nice heal. You really got them. Strategy prevails above all. 25,000 XP for garbage enemies. Cool, cool. These are like metal slimes. They don't pose a threat, but they give disproportionately much XP. Except instead of being metal slimes, it's simply... The explanation is that they're story relevant. Impossible! So strong. It's over. After so long lurking in the back of my mind, the red light mercenaries have been brought to justice. What do you want to do with them? Would you like to take your revenge personally? I loaded the segment right after the prison and also can't find Robin. Cool. I'm happy to hear that it's not just me. I assumed that we're gonna get there if we do something else first. Yeah, makes sense. Like, a ton of quests are pointing to Simon needs to not be depressed as shit, so eventually we're gonna fix Simon not being depressed as shit, and it's gonna fix it. So I'm not terribly worried. I hadn't really considered that. Wait, what? Would you like to take your revenge personally? We control the continent, and they're criminals many times over. You have the right. With great sadness, I picked the moral option for Hilstara in this moment. Killing them wouldn't erase what happened. What matters is preventing them from hurting anyone ever again. Wait! Hilstara, please! Shut up. How do you feel, Hilstara? Don't think I'm not happy. This is a weight off my mind. And I'm glad that they can no longer harm anyone else. But imprisoning Evastan didn't actually bring me any relief. Not for more than a moment. What would? I had wanted so much for the Red Light Mercenaries. I imagined them becoming a great company and fighting the Incubus Emperor. Destroying them didn't make me happy. I'd prefer to restore them if possible. If you need funding, I'm sure we can come up with it. I don't want to take Miguel's precious fundings. No, I had something much more personal in mind. I've noticed that the Red Lights have been fewer every time we meet them, aside from the core officers. Some left rather than betray me. I assume that Evastan has lost more mercenaries with each of his decisions. Could I find and gather them, if possible? I don't think they'd be spread too far, just around this part of Arkland. I think we can make time for that. Thank you, Simon, for everything. Pokemon card! Collectibles! Yippee! Collectible minigame! Finally, the game got good. We got Stanley trophies! We're playing Stanley Parable now! I can send my save, but Genemilas reloaded and said that they couldn't get it either. So it's very possible I just haven't fulfilled the condition. But I'll send the save to whoever you instruct me to. Oh, it's Brunnen. It's Brunnen! Tjena Brunnen! Right, I haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, I got out when it felt like Evastan was running the red lights into the ground. It's been hard to find work, but I'm helping guard the mine now. What about you? I haven't heard anything much from the red lights recently. Well, as it happens, they tried to mind control me, and then I killed them, and then they came back, and then I killed them, and then they came back, and now I decided to spare them, but then they came back. Has to be Is the guard here from the Red Lights Mercenaries? Nope. But yeah, as I was saying, I think I wanna end it here for today. I'm getting tired, and I do need to keep my sleep schedule going, unless I go up and work at 1 AM tomorrow. That'll surely fix my sleep schedule. We'll see if I decide to do that or not. I would get overtime, but it's not ideal. Yeah, I'll end it here. I really like that red light story, actually. It sucks that I have the gamer brain goblin in the back of my head that goes, "Don't be evil, because being evil is not the optimal decision from how the moral and ethical questions the game has asked of you so far." So showing forgiveness feels like the optimal choice in my head. With the consequence being, I don't get the catharsis of killing them. Which is why I will simply reload the save and kill them in cold blood. Have Hilstara enjoy the bloodbath, and then reload back to the good save, like the good Samaritan I am. It's not bad to indulge in your worst impulses, if you do so virtually, and don't hurt anyone in real life. But yeah, with that said, I will be back tomorrow with hopefully a much longer stream, and then we might get something substantial done. Like, I've been thinking about searching for Lilith. I think I want to continue through the the Ramsor Wilds in some different way. It might do the fountain. No, they said you have to be prepared for it. We'll figure it out. I've got a bunch of quests options to pick from. I definitely want to finish the Altina debate. I would love to do that, but I want to get some combat in as well. So those are my thoughts for the next stream. And with that, I will simply watch you, or watch you. I will simply commit an Ivalen and watch over you. No, I meant wish you, not watch you. I will wish you a good night and say, bye, nerds. Have a good one, and thanks for being here. Nice to see you, Random 404. God of the Underworld. I love that you have Random 404 stuff, which is the most, like, I work in tech and had to pick a name tag ever. But then your Discord tag is the most Shunnibu... Once upon a time I could pronounce that. But I've completely forgotten how you say it. Shunnibu? Fuck. I embarrassed myself. Name ever with God of the Underworld. Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.